Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to Okie Blanchard Stadium. High school football coming your way here on 1480 K-Ray. You obviously just heard that with Larry's opening, but Monica and the Mayor back at you again on a Friday evening, and, well, the B team back on the air, Dan, after the A team traveled to Casper last weekend, and do want to thank Larry for stepping in for us. But here's a game where you look at two teams that are on kind of opposite ends of the spectrum here, Dan. You have Cheyenne East, sight set on Laramie in November for a rematch with Sheridan. You have Casper, Kelly, Walsh, the only team in Class 4A to this point that has surrendered any points to Cheyenne South. So you've got East on one end, you have Kelly Walsh on the other one end, fighting to work their way up in the Class 4A standings. And, East is coming off that nice win at Casper Natrona. And they're starting to prove that, season started out with a couple of blowout wins, but even in some close games now, they've been, they can grind it out and find ways to win.
Good to see you, Reese. Fantastic night here at Okie Blanchard Stadium. Another beautiful Wyoming night. Sun's out, setting nicely. Nice cool breeze blowing. It's a beautiful night to play some football, and I agree with you, Reese. This is power on power tonight. Kelly Walsh football figuring out how to run the football this year. They're putting up over 260 yards a game. Big, strong kids running hard. But East, they're going to run into a wall tonight. East High's defense is coming nasty, and they're really good at the defensive corners. They can shut down the receiver one-on-one, and then they're going to be bringing 8, 9, 10 guys to run blitz you. And Kelly Walsh had better bring in their biggest dogs because East is looking to make a statement tonight.
Yeah, and I tell you what, East has really seen the emergences at defensive line. And, of course, Sidell Johnson at defensive end. He has really dialed it up, Dan, since the beginning of the season. He's turned himself into one of the top defensive point scorers in the state. And, Kelly Walsh behind that big offensive line is going to look to pound it at Cheyenne East. But, with speed and size like that along the defensive front, it'll be interesting to see what gives first here between of course East offense, Kanan Zawada. I mean, he's like we made jokingly last year during basketball season, he just never quits. He's like he needs his own energy drink, Zawada, and that's the way he is. He can get it done with his legs and with his arm.
And he is a pure athlete from head to toe. The kid makes plays, doesn't matter what you ask him to do. Whether you could probably line him up at defensive end to be a star. He just can find a way to make a difference on the football field. And I would expect, since Kelly Walsh's pass defense isn't in the top 5 this year, we're going to look at East both wanting to pound it, but they're going to also do a little bit more fine-tune on the offense because they still got some big games coming up. And as you said earlier, Reese, they've got their eyes on Laramie.
It's the Thunderbirds and the Trojans here at Okie Blanchard Stadium on a beautiful Friday night in the capital city. High school football on 1480 K-Ray. Larry Proletti has our extended pregame show. Lots of features. You're going to want to keep it tuned for these interviews and Larry's pregame show. We'll be back with kickoff following Larry's pregame show. High school football on 1480 K-Ray.
We're celebrating the grand opening of our new showroom with a sale on new Kias. I'm AJ Miller for Kia of Cheyenne. Right now, come in for savings on a new 2025 Kia Carnival, which will give you more features, safety advancements, comfort, and much more. There's no need to go anywhere else. We've upgraded our facilities to provide you with an even better service for an exceptional car buying experience. Come in, call 775-0123 or go to KiaofCheyenne.com and we'll make it easy.
The Brake Stop in Casper and Cheyenne is your locally owned brake specialist for over 20 years. ASE certified. We always offer 100% free brake inspection, free tire rotations, and now offering a free alignment check. So for the best brakes, best service, and always the best price, stop at the Brake Stop. See our website and social media for exclusive deals.
From your head to your toes, we're here to keep you moving. With consultation, treatment, and rehabilitation all in one location, it's easier than ever to get the level of care you deserve. Cheyenne Regional. We inspire great health.
This is your journey. But whatever direction you take, whatever path you find, wherever your journey leads, everything you need to get there is right here. Find your path and your community at LCCC.
Don't fumble with your family dinner tonight. Score extra points at Two Doors Down. Two Doors Down is wired for football season, and with a menu that won't penalize your pocketbook. Two Doors Down menu selections are perfect for the active family, from gourmet burgers and bottomless fries to soups and salads to the all-new platters, and of course your favorite beverages. Tackle your family's cravings tonight at Two Doors Down, 118 East 17th Street. For full menu and specials, go to twodoorsdown.net. Two Doors Down, flippin' great burgers since 2009.
Hey guys, I want to tell you a little bit about my friends at Advanced Comfort Solutions. These guys are by far your number one choice for all your local heating and cooling needs. Whether it's new install, replacement, or service, they are as good as it gets. They service all makes and models of furnaces and have an incredible comfort membership you're going to want to check out. Let the comfort professionals at Advanced Comfort Solutions help keep you and your family warm and worry-free this winter. Give them a call at 778-4911 or visit their website at advancedcomfortwy.com and let them show you why they are your... Here's a phone number to keep handy in today's high-technology world. 307-256-8971. It's the number for affordable computer repair. Whether it's a virus, hard drive, motherboard, keyboard problem, or just to update your computer with the latest versions, Lanny at Affordable Computer Repair has the expertise to address and fix these problems and more for your desktop, laptop, or tablet. Call locally owned and operated Affordable Computer Repair for your home or business computers today at 256-89. When you're paying the right price for protection, you just know it. It's that warm, fuzzy, totally secure feeling, knowing that you're not only getting great coverage, but you're also not paying too much for it. And there's no one that knows that feeling like Cheyenne Allstate agent Jason Gilbert, because he works every day to get people like you the coverage they need with the savings they deserve. Contact him for a free quote today. Allstate, you're in good hands. Savings vary based on the average annual savings reported by new auto customers surveyed in 2019. Well, in lieu of our athletic director's report, we're going to do our Coach on the Road segment, and we get a chance to talk with Cheyenne Central's Mike Apodaca. Coach, real quick, aside from one blemish on the record, the Indians check in 4-1 as they get ready for play on Friday night. Just talk about the progression of your team. Obviously, you're not perfect yet. There's always room for improvement, but just talk about each and every week your team steps onto the field. You got to be seeing more and more good things.
Yeah, we do, and I guess that's the purpose of this whole thing, is that's what you're hoping for, is that you continue to get better, address the things that need to be worked on. Our kids respond really well each week to the challenges we put in front of them, and so yeah, it's been good to see that progression. And like you said, we need more.
Coach, let's talk about Owen Woods, and one of the things, and again, we've seen Central twice, and are looking forward to seeing him again next weekend. But you look at Owen Woods stepping into that quarterback spot. It looks like he's got a good handle on running that offense.
Yeah, I'd probably describe Owen the best is he's just a really smart kid, and he knows what we need out of the position, and takes care of the football and doesn't try to do too much. And when his numbers calls, he'll do that. If he needs to, hand it off, 40 times, he does that. And he's a true kind of captain of the ship, and that's what you're hoping for. Kind of steady Eddie within the way he handles, the position, and a real happy for his progression as well.
You look at the LOS, and again, anchored by, getting a lot of publicity, Jack Garrett. But one of the nice things about that line of scrimmage, especially even on both sides of the football, but more on the offensive side, it's allowing you and your coaching staff to, go into that playbook a little bit as far as run, pass, however you guys want to call plays. But again, just that beef on the line has really been giving you some good opportunities.
Yeah, it is. Anytime, to do anything late in October, that kind of stuff, you've got to be able to be balanced. Teams are going to try to take away, an asset of your game, and you've got to be able to answer it. And I think that our O-line, without a doubt, is kind of the cog to this wheel, and they've played really well, continue to get better and understand what we're asking out of them, and they'll be critical down the road here.
I mentioned Jack Garrett, and again, he's been getting a lot of press, and sometimes it's a distraction, but I know this young man. I remember when he was playing baseball for Post 6, and again, now he's focused on his football. Tell us a little bit how you kind of deflect some of that pressure away from him.
Yeah, it's honestly just talking, and you're right. It's a lot for a young man to handle, and I think Jack's handled it as valiantly as he can. There's a lot of coaches calling, and the pressure of trying to make a decision that will probably affect the rest of your life in the middle of the season that you're most committed to is a lot. And I think Jack's done a nice job, and really, I was happy for him because I think it's the right spot, and two, I also think it allowed him to move on from that. Now he just kind of gets to focus on his senior year and kind of lead that O&D line.
Coach, aside from the one blemish on your record, are you right now, and I don't want to use the word surprised, but are you pleasantly happy that your team is right now at 4-1 here as we get into the home stretch of the season?
I don't know. I'd say surprised. I would say I feel like it's where we thought we were capable of. And honestly, Larry, I thought last year, obviously we repeat the schedule from last year. I thought, that was kind of our goal last year is, kind of a, 4-1 type of thing. Felt like we competed well against the teams that were on the schedule, and we weren't able to get it done last year, be it just not ready to do it, injuries. There were just a lot of reasons we weren't. And so I'm happy for the kids that they've been able to reap the rewards of their hard work. But they also know that, probably the chunk of our schedule is on the other side of this. And it obviously starts this week with Sheridan. And so, but that's kind of where you want to be. We were able to kind of get our feet under us a little bit, kind of define who we are. And the kids are excited. I think they can compete well against anybody left on our schedule.
Mike Apodaca joining us on our pregame show in lieu of our athletic director's report. Coach, you said the word injuries, and that's, we get into this part of the season, bumps, bruises, maybe some guys are on that walking wounded type of a situation, but last year you were beset by a bunch of injuries. Tell us a little bit about the health of the ball club right now.
Well, as you know, Larry, anything compared to last year is a bonus, and so we're good. I think we're typical of what you normally see in a season, like you said. Kind of got some guys that feel it every morning when they wake up, sort of thing. But by the time they get moving and get into school and get a lift in and get through practice, and come Friday they feel pretty good. And so we're pretty blessed right now on that front.
Sheridan Bronx, and again, you throw out the prompts, and again, Jeff Maurer has just done a sensational job with that program. You look at the stat sheet, nothing really is striking about this team, but they have to be the most opportunistic ball club that you're going to be facing here in this season.
Yeah, and I think that's twofold. I think you create your opportunities, and that's what Sheridan just does so well. Obviously, their kids are very well coached. They're confident. It's all the things that make up how you finish a season, how you finish a game. And, we're not shying away from it in terms of they are the standard. And we talk to our kids about it. And I know our kids, see it, are able to visualize it, and are working to make that happen. And so, kudos to them. This is where we need to be right here this week. We've had a good start. And it's a measuring stick game, right? Like, you want to go find out. And that anything you want to do at the end of the season is going to have to go through them. So you're going to find out where you stand. And I'm looking forward to the challenge that the kids are.
Central Indians head coach Mike Apodaca joining us on our pregame show. Still to come, we'll hear from Randy Roden, head coach of the Casper Walsh Trojans. He does double duty, coaches the football team, then turns around and coaches basketball. We'll talk with him about his Casper Kelly Walsh Trojans. We'll also talk with Chad Goff, the head coach of the Cheyenne Thunderbirds. Mountain West Conference schedule, the weekly schedule. Reese and the mayor will have the starting lineups, and then we'll have football here from Whsaa Blanchard Stadium. It will be the T-Birds and the Trojans live right here on 14.
Ready to level up? Show your team pride every time you pay with the new lineup of FNBO Visa Debit Fan Cards. Free with any FNBO checking account. Unlike any card you've seen, with unique design, raised detail, and premium finish. Pay in style everywhere you go. The new collection, only from FNBO. Visit fnbo.com/debit to get yours.
We're celebrating the grand opening of our new showroom with a sale on new Kias. I'm AJ Miller for Kia of Cheyenne. Right now, come in for savings on a new 2025 Kia Carnival, which will give you more features, safety advancements, comfort, and much more. There's no need to go anywhere else. We've upgraded our facilities to provide you with an even better service for an exceptional car buying experience. Come in, call 775-0123 or go to KiaofCheyenne.com and we'll make it easy. It's on! We're having a grand opening sale offering savings on new Kias. I'm AJ Miller for Kia of Cheyenne, and right now during this event, you can save on a new 2025 Kia Sportage. The 2025 Kia Sportage has exceptional value. There's no reason to pay big city prices. We've been here for over 20 years, and now we've made changes with a better facility and more vehicle options. Stay close to home and pay less at Kia of Cheyenne. Call 775-0123 or go to KiaofCheyenne.com, and we'll make it easy.
This is your journey. But whatever direction you take, whatever path you find, wherever your journey leads, everything you need to get there is right here. Find your path and your community at LCCC.
Larry Perlini with head coach Randy Roden of the Casper Kelly Walsh Trojans. And again, one of my true respects for you, Coach, is you're doing double duty. You do football and you move right into basketball. I guess, you know, and again, we're not spring chickens anymore, Coach. What keeps those juices flowing for you?
Every time I think I might be a little crazy and try to shuffle the blame somewhere, I remember I'm the idiot that signed the contract. So I gotta fess up and move forward. It's football's a different beast. There's just a lot of moving parts on and off the field and within the program. So it does tax me a little bit, but part of not being a spring chicken is I also don't have a lot of other stuff going on. So it is what it is. I enjoy the grind of it. And it hasn't, I haven't thought, in the spring or anything where I'm just worn out. So for now, it's been good. So I just keep going forward.
In this day and age where a lot of kids now are being asked to choose one sport that they're really good at, do you kind of set the bar a little bit for some of those student athletes to say, like, well, if Coach can do it, I can play two sports too?
Boy, I wish that was the case, but it is not. We have not gained, I've failed in this endeavor in multiple fronts of the things that I had hoped to accomplish. And one of those glaring things is our numbers have actually gone down. We're just not getting a lot of kids that want to go through what I ask of them. I knew it would go down initially, but then I thought the excitement of the program moving forward would help us. But this year it's been, we're way low in numbers. So, it hasn't transpired the way you would hope.
Coach, speaking of numbers, as we're getting close to that home stretch of the season, injuries, how's the team physically as you head into these final games?
Well, we lost our tight end, probably for the year with a shoulder injury. We lost the starting tackle last week to a shoulder injury for the year. Our center's a little banged up. I haven't seen him today. He got banged up last night. Our other starting guard missed last week because he was banged up. So, we're about 6 deep on the line, and we had to play some JV guys last week against Sheridan that had never played varsity before. So, we travel with 30 kids, and we play about 19 of them. So we're not good on numbers, and health isn't real good right now. But we're feeling good about ourselves. We played our best game of the year last week against Sheridan, so hopefully we can build on that a little bit.
Well, I'm glad you ended a little bit there in our conversation with a positive note. Let's talk about and I'm serious here, Coach. Let's talk about the positives. Obviously, got together with these guys in August for summer camp, and here we are. We're participating into the home stretch of the football season. Things that you're seeing that your team is doing a lot better with right now.
Well, I think some of it is schematic-wise. We got away from our identity from last year, and that's on me. I tried to incorporate a lot of things other teams are doing to make us a little more multifaceted, and it really didn't fit us. So what ended up happening is we lost kind of our identity. So last week we went back to our grassroots of what we're about. Played much better. Defensively made some big changes last week. Played much faster and downhill. And with that, our physicality was way better against a very good Sheridan team. So, last week was a big step forward, but a lot of it was because we kind of went back to what we did last year. I thought we'd be better so we could do some other things, and we just kind of lost our identity, and that's coming back slowly. So I like that. I mean, if we can build on that, if we can build on last Friday, we've got a chance, to make some noise down the stretch.
Doggone it, Coach. You got the Wyoming High School Activities Association right there in Casper. They match you up with Sheridan, the number 1 team. You get the number 2 team, the Cheyenne Thunderbirds, Friday at Okie Blanchard Stadium. I'm telling you, they're not too kind to you here down the home stretch. But let's talk about the Cheyenne Thunderbirds. I guess my question would be, because I covered that game at Natrona County High School, the Thunderbirds, do you look at last week's film against Steve Harshman's squad, or do you revert back to last year's game against the T-Birds? How do you prepare for this ball club? Again, I know there's changes in personnel on both teams, but is last year's film more helpful than last week's game against the Mustangs?
Well, in some respects, we're so different offensively, and we went back to a lot of what we're doing last year. So looking at last year, how they lined up against us, because we had really good success in the first half last year, and then the second half they just shut us down. And so we looked at the differences between the first half and second half just to find out how they might come at us again this year. But that was the end of it. And then we started looking at, they played a gauntlet of good teams too. They played Thunder, they played Natrona, they played Sheridan. So we looked at all of those things, and they're very impressive. They're bigger than they've been in a while. They're still as fast. They got athletes all over the field, and then they're very well coached on both sides of the ball. So, this is an East team that's I've heard a lot of coaches and ADs tell me this is as good as what they've had in a long time. So that's a scary thought. And for them to play as well as they did against Sheridan, that tells you the quality, because Sheridan up front, their front four really are hard to deal with, and East was able to move them around and score and keep them from scoring. So we know the Thunderbirds are going to be good, and we know it's a gauntlet, but that's, there's other teams that started the year, like Thunder Basin started the year, and every year they're 0-3 because they start with Natrona, Sheridan, and East. So I'm not going to cry in my soup too much about the scheduling gods. It's kind of spread out everywhere.
Final thought, Coach, and again, the record at 1-4 right now, so 4 games left on the schedule. 2 wins, maybe 3, get you into the playoffs. Do you and the Trojans hit the field for the final 4 Fridays with a sense of urgency? Hey, you got to play with a must-win attitude.
Well, we tried that when we went down. We got kind of shell-shocked by Laramie, and that's when we started that mantra of now our backs are against the wall. But it's hard to get out of that. The next week we'll play Thunder, who we beat last year, and we thought we had a chance, and we just laid an egg. So the urgency wasn't there. But then last week we got, kind of some wind in our sails. There are select, there's not many of the schools that we play that we match up physically, speed-wise especially. So, I told him when we got beat by Laramie, we need to knock off one of the better teams, and then we got to take care of Rock Springs, obviously, at the end of the schedule to have a chance to go to the playoffs.
Head coach Randy Roden of the Casper Kelly Walsh Trojans, as his Trojans get ready to do battle with the Chinese Thunderbirds, and a lot of respect for the East T-Birds from Coach Roden. So he knows what he's going up against this evening here at Okie Blanchard Stadium. We're going to take a timeout. We come back, we'll chat with Chad Goff, head coach of the T-Birds. We're back after this timeout. You're listening to and watching high school football right here on 1480.
If you're looking for a quick breakfast or lunch, you're looking for the Bread Basket. If you're busy and can't take time out for a healthy breakfast, stop in and try one of our breakfast burritos loaded with potatoes, eggs, cheese, bacon, and our homemade green chili wrapped in a 12-inch flour tortilla. Or, for a fast lunch, try our delicious cabbage burgers, hamburger, onions, and cabbage wrapped in bread dough and baked to a golden brown. Treat yourself to a fast breakfast or lunch today at the Bread Basket Bakery and Sandwich Shop, 1819 Maxwell Avenue, Cheyenne's hometown bakery. Wrapped in bread dough and baked to a golden brown. Treat yourself to a fast breakfast or lunch today at the Bread Basket Bakery and Sandwich Shop, 1819 Maxwell Avenue, Cheyenne's.
Wyoming owned and operated since 1971, Burns Insurance is Wyoming's right choice for your insurance needs. Burns Insurance is a trusted choice, full-service, independent insurance agency offering a full range of commercial, agricultural, and personal insurance products through many national and regional carriers. Let our friendly, experienced agents help you find the right product at the right price for your asset protection. Buy the policy, get the agent at Burns Insurance, your right choice. Find Burns Insurance on Facebook or at Burns I.
Suddenly it's all so clear with Gill Windows. Your home deserves the very best, that's what we give to you. When it comes to vinyl windows, no need to be confused. We manufacture in Wyoming, build them all right here. 'Cause we know the climate, suddenly it's all so clear with Gill Windows. Suddenly it's all so clear with Gill Windows. Your home deserves the very best, that's what we give to you. When it comes to vinyl windows, no need to be confused. We manufacture in Wyoming, build them all right here. 'Cause we know the climate, suddenly it's all so clear with Gill Windows.
Ready to level up? Show your team pride every time you pay with the new lineup of FNBO Visa Debit Fan Cards. Free with any FNBO checking account. Unlike any card you've seen, with unique design, raised detail, and premium finish. Pay in style, everywhere you go. The new collection, only from FNBO. Visit fnbo.com/debit to get yours.
The players return to the field. Up to bat are the Warriors. First up, number 7. There's the pitch. It's a hit, good for a single. Next, number 18. He swings. Line drive to center field. 15 steps up. Another hit. Bases loaded now as number 40 approaches the plate. It's headed for the fence. Grand slam. The Warriors win the game. Make it home safe. Buckle up. Every passenger, every trip, every time.
Hey guys, I want to tell you a little bit about my friends at Advanced Comfort Solutions. These guys are by far your number one choice for all your local heating and cooling needs. Whether it's new install, replacement, or service, they are as good as it gets. They service all makes and models of furnaces and have an incredible comfort membership you're going to want to check out. Let the comfort professionals at Advanced Comfort Solutions help keep you and your family warm and worry-free this winter. Give them a call at 778-4911 or visit their website at advancedcomfortwy.com and let them show you why they are your number one choice.
October is Fraud Awareness Month.
At Platte Valley Bank, your money stays local, and so does the impact.
Hi,
I'm Robbie Jo McGraw. Whether it's supporting small businesses, funding local projects, or helping your neighbors, your choice to bank at Platte Valley Bank makes a difference in our community. Every deposit you make helps strengthen the place we call home. Banking local isn't just smart. It's a way to build a stronger, more connected community. Choose local, and together we can all grow stronger. Platte Valley Bank, you belong here.
Platte Valley Bank, member FDIC.
At Fat Boys Tire and Auto, our business is about more than just selling tires and fixing cars. We believe in faith, family, and community. The Fat Boys family has been serving Wyoming and Nebraska for over 50 years, and 3 generations later, our values have never changed. When you need tires or auto repairs, find the Fat Boys, and we'll treat you like family. Fat Boys Tire and Auto in Cheyenne, Laramie, Scottsbluff, and Wheatland. Get price quotes and schedule service at...
If you're looking for a quick breakfast or lunch, you're looking for the Breadbasket. If you're busy and can't take time out for a healthy breakfast, stop in and try one of our breakfast burritos loaded with potatoes, eggs, cheese, bacon, and our homemade green chili wrapped in a 12-inch flour tortilla. Or, for a fast lunch, try our delicious cabbage burgers, hamburger, onions, and cabbage wrapped in bread dough and baked to a golden brown. Treat yourself to a fast breakfast or lunch today at the Breadbasket Bakery and Sandwich Shop, 1819 Maxwell Avenue, Cheyenne's hometown bakery. Wrapped in bread dough and baked to a golden brown. Treat yourself to a fast breakfast.
Cheyenne East Thunderbirds and the Casper Kelly Walsh Trojans, and we're going to have our national anthem coming up here in just a matter of moments. The East ROTC is marching the flag out onto the field, and we're going to take a 3-minute timeout. We'll be back with your opening kick. This is high school football on 1480 K-Ray.
Here's a phone number to keep handy in today's high-technology world. 307-256-8971. It's the number for affordable computer repair. Whether it's a virus, hard drive, motherboard, keyboard problem, or just to update your computer with the latest versions, Lanny at Affordable Computer Repair has the expertise to address and fix these problems and more for your desktop, laptop, or tablet. Call locally owned and operated Affordable Computer Repair for your home or business computers today at 256-8971.
If you believe the destination is the journey, you'll love exploring in the 2025 Subaru Crosstrek. It gives you the confidence of standard symmetrical all-wheel drive, plus a 182 horsepower Subaru Boxer engine. The 2025 Subaru Crosstrek. Love is out there. Find it in a Crosstrek. 182 horsepower engine available on select models.
Experience the Halliday difference at Halliday Subaru.
That's the sound of a Mountain Dew. And that's you enjoying its refreshing citrus kick. That's a cool breeze suddenly whistling through your hair.
Whoa!
That's you realizing you're now on a mountain.
This is epic!
That's you stating the obvious. That's you stepping up to the plate. That's you winning your kickball game.
Yes, let's go!
That's you taking another sip of your Do the Do.
Don't fumble with your family dinner tonight. Score extra points at Two Doors Down. Two Doors Down is wired for football season and with a menu that won't penalize your pocketbook. Two Doors Down menu selections are perfect for the active family, from gourmet burgers and bottomless fries to soups and...
I always get a kick when I see ads for a huge vault of silver they found, or they get their gold from a certain company. Hi, this is Larry Perotti for the Coin Shop in downtown Cheyenne. Family owned and operated since 1982. You can buy and sell your gold or silver, along with other precious metals, including palladium and platinum, at the Coin Shop each Tuesday through Friday. You'll always get top dollar for your gold or silver, as David
We welcome you back to Oakey Blanchard Stadium, Reese Monaco, Dan Morris. We're just about ready to get things underway here between Cheyenne East and Casper Kelly Walsh, and we'll have starting lineups, and teams usually introduce themselves as teams. So just quickly, for the Thunderbirds, Dan, let's run down the offensive line, and some of their names we'll be calling on offense. That offensive line, 6'4", 230 senior, that's Brandon Shaver. A 6'5", 290 senior, Isaac Clay. 6'1", 245 senior at center is Tucker Mao. A 6 foot, 220 pound senior, Brandon Lamb. And at right tackle, a 6 foot, 230 pound senior, Juan Roca. Of course, Kanan Zawada is a 5'9", 150 pound senior at quarterback. And wideouts, they will rotate a lot of names in and out. One of the running backs, a name we'll call plenty tonight, is Keyshawn Brown. He can get it done in the backfield and catching the ball. About 120 yards of total offense for Keyshawn Brown. Tyree McCord is a 5'11", 180-pound senior. Clayton Zom, a 5'11", 189-pound senior. And just a couple of names. And we're not going to have Aiden Ricardo. He was injured, so a couple of injuries taking a toll on the Thunderbirds. And for Casper Kelly Walsh, a couple of names offensively. At quarterback is a 6 foot, 150-pound senior, Carter Alvar. Running back, and this guy is he's a bruiser. 5'9", 175-pound senior. Ethan Hagg averages about 73 yards per game on the ground, and he's one of their big-time receivers as well. Ben Fetter is a running back, 6'1", 180-pound senior. And just a couple of the names that we'll be calling for the Kelly Walsh Trojans. Kelly Walsh is coached by Randy Roden, who I believe has coached nearly every sport at both high schools up in Casper. He's been around for a long time. Cheyenne East, longtime head coach Chad Goff. About ready to get this thing underway. We had band senior day. Here they introduced all the seniors on the band. And Kelly Walsh did not come with a large traveling squad, about 30 players. And I was just joking to Larry, they may have traveled more cheerleaders and band than they did actual football players here today.
Good to see you again, Reese. I'm ready for a big football game tonight. And just a side note, you're right. Kelly Walsh is a school that expects their cheerleader team to be at the top all the time. They have a lot of pride in their spirit squad. And those girls over there really do a nice job. But looking at tonight, you mentioned a couple of stars there, the running backs and receivers. If you look paper-wise, Reese, these are two teams that rushing-wise look real familiar to each other. Very similar yardage, similar carries. The big difference, though, between these two squads is East High puts it in the end zone. And so they've got every kid nearly double-digit in touchdowns, where Kelly Walsh, I think, is struggling to hit double-digit as a team. So I think the rushing games are going to look the same. The difference, as we talked about in the pregame, is what East High's defense can do to shut down Kelly Walsh's rushing game, because their passing game hasn't proven to be a difference maker yet. So the Thunderbirds are going to load up the front. They're going to come fast and furious, and the T-Birds are looking to pick up a giant win tonight.
There's not many offensive lines that you look at that can match up maybe size-wise with Cheyenne East. Look at Kelly Walsh, though, 6'1", 190, 6'1", 220, 5'10", 275, 6'4", 275, and 6'4", 355. That's why Kelly Walsh wants to run the ball.
Yeah, I'm going to say all those boys belong to the same health club you and I belong to, and they are big. You look across there, there are not a whole lot of them, and their speedsters and their skill positions look fast and athletic, but they've got some big ones up front. But East has never stepped away or got shy about that. Totally expect East to come with a lot of blitz packages, a lot of stunts up front, and really do a good job of getting to the backfield of Kelly Walsh and disrupting the flow.
Alex Cooper and Keyshawn Brown back deep to receive this kick. East won the toss and elected to receive. Ethan Leslie has it teed up in midfield at the 40. About 77 degrees, winds out of the south, 7 to 10 miles an hour. So Kelly Walsh kicking with the wind at their backs, and we're just about ready to get this one underway. You're watching and listening to high school football on 1480 K-Ray. Reese and Dan with you here. And we do have Doug Arnold back at the studios and Larry Proetti here manning the video. And wow, Leslie sends it through the end zone, and East will start their first drive at their own 20 after the touchback.
We watched Leslie in warm-ups before they headed back into the locker room, and he was out there kicking some field goals and knocked a couple through from the 45-yard line. You start doing the math, that's starting to push out toward a 60-yard field goal. So the kid has a big leg on him. I don't know if field goals are going to make any difference, but I know touchdowns will. So Kelly Walsh has got to put it in the end zone if they expect to beat the T-Birds.
Kanan Zawada will lead his crew out onto the field. Zawada will work out of the shotgun, and Brown in the backfield stands just to his right. In motion now was Eldridge. A turn, give it to Brown. Brown breaks the tackle. Brown into the open, and he just goes face mask to face mask with an off defensive player and runs him over out to the 37-yard line.
He's doing a good job of creating motion away from the hole, moving into running back and motion across the backside of the offense there. And then Brown hitting that hole hard and fast. So you said he lowered the hammer, put a shoulder pad right in that linebacker's chest.
A 17-yard gain. Now Zawada's going to keep it himself. He'll bounce it out left side. Zawada to midfield, and he's on the plus side. He'll be run out of bounds right near the Kelly Walsh 40-yard line. And two big gains for the Thunderbirds. They're just marching on out near the 45. So another big gain.
It looks like Kelly Walsh defense is really trying to read on that motion back, and actually East is running back against it, burning them both times. Now they're going to roll out looking to pass it. Zawada out deep right.
He fires. He's got a man right near the sideline, and it is dropped by Tyree McCord as he was rolling out to his right. Had him open, bring up second down and 10. Ball at the 45-yard line of the Trojans.
I'm going to say the coaches at the team meeting next week are going to say you need to catch that, but he was trying to keep his feet in bounds and still corral that ball. That was tough. The ball was a little outside, really tough to pull in.
Fourth play, this drive, quick pitch, right side. That's Eldridge. Eldridge looking to get to the corner. He does right side, and a great block on the outside. He is sprung. Eldridge is in. That is a Thunderbird touchdown. A 45-yard Jace Eldridge touchdown run, and an incomplete pass, and 3 huge runs, and the Thunderbirds score in 4 plays to take a early lead. And now Blake Noose is on for the PAT.
Making a statement early with that running game, gaining plus 10 yards every rush.
And Noose's PAT is up, and that is good. And now Blake Noose, 24-24 field goal point after attempts on the season.
That sounds like All State to me.
Thunderbirds with the early lead, 7-0 over the Casper Kelly Walsh Trojans as they strike early. We'll take a 30-second timeout. You're listening to and watching high school football on 1480 K-Ray.
We're celebrating the grand opening of our new showroom with a sale on new Kias. I'm AJ Miller for Kia of Cheyenne. Right now, come in for savings on a new 2025 Kia Carnival, which will give you more features, safety advancements, comfort, and much more. There's no need to go anywhere else. We've upgraded our facilities to provide you with an even better service for an exceptional car buying experience. Come in, call 775-0123 or go to KiaofCheyenne.com and we'll make it easy.
Welcome back to Okie Blanchard Stadium. The Thunderbirds in 4 plays find pay dirt. Trace Eldridge, 45-yard touchdown scamper up the right side. And now Blake Noose is on to kick it away. He'll be booting into the wind, and Kelly Walsh will get their first possession. And Noose hammers this one. He'll be right at the goal line. Kelly Walsh at the 10 to the 15, and maybe should have just let that one go into the end zone, and they'd have had it at the 20 instead of the 16-yard line.
Reese, let's go back to that first offensive series with the East, and what happened well there was that was a lot of excellent downfield blocking. If you go back and be able to watch this on the YouTube stream, you'll see that all the East receivers are downfield picking up defensive backs and getting the guys deep. There was no one out there from Kelly Walsh to be able to play defense and make a tackle. And now you're going to turn the tables on him and watch for East to bring the house now.
Carter Alvar will lead his group out. He'll be up underneath center. Ethan Hagg stands just behind him. 3 backs all lined up straight behind him, and he'll turn and give right up the middle to Hagg, and the East defense just pounces on him as he falls forward for maybe a 1-yard, 2-yard gain. Just tried to give it to the first man through. That was Ethan Hagg, the 5'9", 175-pound senior. 2-yard gain for Hagg.
Coach Chad Goff and his staff are some of the best in the state for scheming against what you think you're going to bring at them. And right now, East comes out on the first play, 6-man front, all down, 2 guys on the ends, 4 guys down, and then 3 linebackers. They only have 2 defensive backs out there just to be safeties, but there's probably going to be a lot of wrecks right up in front of them.
Alvar again under center, and we'll give to the second man through this time. And the second man is Hagg once again. He stumbles across the 20 to the 21-yard line.
Hagg's not a huge kid, but I think he's going to be able to pick up some successful yards just because he's a talented running back. Hagg right now posting about 73.5 yards a game. He's only has 1 touchdown on the year, which is probably the effect of what Kelly Walsh's struggles offensively have been, but definitely Hagg is their workhorse.
6-yard gain for Hagg. First man is stood up right at the line of scrimmage, still fighting forward. And again, that interior East defensive line just plugging up any hole or any opportunity for Hagg. Maybe picked up a yard, maybe, and that'll bring up 4th down, 4th and 2.
And it's really, as an offensive coach, you don't have enough guys up front, even if you're running double tight ends. You just don't have enough blockers at the line of scrimmage when you're talking about 6 defensive linemen and 3 linebackers. And East High is never bashful about blitzing their linebackers, so they'll bring everybody every time.
Ethan Leslie is on to punt. Keyshawn Brown back deep to receive for the Thunderbirds, along with Trace Eldridge. They stand around their own 35-yard line. And lastly, a high end over ender, and Brown will field it right near the 43, right up the middle, tries to make one man miss. He's across the 45, out near the 47-yard line of the Thunderbirds, and East will have outstanding field position for their second possession.
That punt was rather high. My first instinct as an old coach was to yell to just fair catch that and take it down, but Mr. Brown did a nice job of crowding that ball and getting his eyes down quickly, finding the one blocker in front of him, cutting off the back of that, and gaining a few extra yards himself. So that was a really nice little return by Keyshawn.
3 and out for the Trojans, and now East ran 4 offensive plays before they scored down. We'd have a stoppage here. 9:03 to play in the first quarter, 7-0. The Thunderbirds with the lead. They'll have it 1st and 10 at their own 48-yard line. An early timeout. High school football on 1480 K-Ray, brought to you by Affordable Computer Repair, the Breadbasket Bakery, Kia of Cheyenne. Cheyenne Frontier Days, we'll see you in 2026, July 17th through the 26th. Capital Lumber Company, FNBO, and Laramie County Community College. And, of course, Pepsi bringing us the Pepsi scoreboard, where East has the 7-0 lead right now.
And I think this is exactly what we anticipated. When you were visiting before the game, Reese, we talked about the strength of East's running game. If Zawada starts wanting to unload passes, Kelly Walsh is going to tighten up, anticipating runs. But East loves to come out in these spread offenses, 2, 3, 4 wide, and keep your defensive back spread out. When they hit you hard, they're going to come fast.
Running the Wildcat now, Keyshawn Brown out of the shotgun takes the snap, and he'll just bust it up the middle. Now look to bank it out to the right side. He does as he scampers out of bounds in plus territory at the Kelly Walsh 46-yard line, 47-yard line.
And that is such a difficult play to defend because the running back there's no time to read a quarterback's turn. There's no time to get your reads. The running back, as the quarterback, takes that ball and he hits the hole so fast, there's really not much time to adjust on the defensive side.
And give it right up the middle. Again, bouncing it outside, spinning to move away from tackles out near the first down. Keyshawn Brown, he is right at the first down marker, about a 5-yard gain for Keyshawn Brown.
They're going to give him the first down, Reese, so they've got a fresh set here. Right now, Keyshawn running like a man possessed. He's not doubting his own abilities at all. Heads up high. He's keeping his shoulders down low, pounding those legs. He's just a really high-quality running back.
Zawada out of the shotgun. In motion is Eldridge. Fake the give to Eldridge. Now to Brown. Brown bottled up inside. Will bounce it out left again, just pumping the legs as he drives across the 40. Going to be drugged down near the 39, 38-yard line. And he was hit initially, Dan, just kept those legs pumping and picked up nearly 6 yards.
He's not a kid you can arm tackle, and that first shot on him was completely arm tackle. The kid just rolled off the backside of him. Keyshawn said, not tonight. Lowered his shoulders, kept driving, as you said, and picked up those crucial couple more yards.
East with 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Now Brown in motion. Zawada on the middle screen, got it to Eldridge, and that's going to be gobbled up and actually lose 2 yards.
Now that's a little bit of the old theory of coaches out-coaching coaches right there, Reese, because that case, the KW's big boys up front didn't really get much penetration into the offensive line. They just stood there, and as that screen came back into it, they didn't have anything to do but stand there, and unfortunately the ball carrier ran right into them because they hadn't really gone anywhere.
3 receivers split out to the right, 1 to the left. Zawada out of the shotgun. Brown stands just to his right. Now in motion is Clayton Zom, and swing it out to Brown. Brown gets the yardage back, and then a couple of more as the Kelly Walsh defense comes flying in, and that'll bring up 4th down for East as Brown picks up maybe 2 yards.
And Kelly Walsh is still trying to find their place. As we talked about in pregame, struggled a little bit with wins this year, but they've got some quality players out there, and they're doing a pretty nice job. Their rushing defense is giving up 150 yards, and I think the T-Birds are looking to get every one of those.
Zawada does punt, and they'll snap it to Zawada. He's going to roll out left, looking downfield. Now he's going to tuck it under. He's hit and driving forward across the 35, out near the first down. Kanan Zawada, I don't know if that was just an option to punt or run it all the way, and he may have picked up the first down, or he is extremely close on 4th down here.
And he did a nice job. They had initial contact. Now they're going to turn the ball over, it looks like. Yeah, they're going to turn the ball over there. Missed it by maybe half a yard. But Zawada got out there to his left. I don't think that was actually any kind of a punt option, Reese. He just did a nice job of getting outside and hustling up the field. Got initial contact about 2 yards short short, spun off to gain almost the 2 yards he needed, but came up maybe 6 inches, 12 inches short.
Alvar, that is Carter Alvar, the quarterback. Now split backs behind him in the full house backfield. On the action, the ball is on the ground. It just bounced right out of the hands of Hunter Izot, and he turns and dives on it, and Kelly Walsh will lose 3 yards.
That's a tough way to start your series when you know how effective the East offense is being. You've got to get your offense to crank it up too. Kelly Walsh has not always been in the top part of the state, and we've talked about all year the 4 teams that always have the advantage are 1 through 4, but their rushing game has got them at number 4 ranked rushing offense, so we're going to see them stick with that. 2nd and 13, and Carter Alvar gives on the inside give, and fighting his way around right side, picking up a couple blocks. That is Ben Fetter around the right side with good positive gains. He was lined up just kind of on the slot, Dan, and inside give is make it 3rd and 3. They run this little modified double wing kind of full house backfield look. Adjustments, so don't think you can really put a name on it because they do a variety of looks, but in that case, he was lined up the left wing and just swung back inside for a real quick handoff. Nice little pickup. 3rd and 3 from their own 40-yard line for the Trojans. A little X this time, running it the other way, and nothing doing this time as that East defense. So that was Carter Alvar to Quinn Alvar, who ended up losing a yard on that inside handoff. Exact same play, but going the other way, and East recognized it immediately. Really the key to being able to beat those quick handoffs like that is every defensive player has to stay home and play their assignment. When you start beating teams, when they start chasing the fakes, and then you start creating these gaps, everyone has to stay in their spot, read their gap, take the responsibility for their man, and make the play.
Brown and Eldridge back to receive the punt from Leslie. It's a low knuckler that will just bounce out, fly out of bounds, almost just shanked it. Low liner, and I think that may have been, we just don't want these guys to touch the ball kind of punt, and he kicks it out of bounds near the 28-yard line, and that's where the Thunderbirds will take over for their 3rd possession.
Sometimes your favorite 12th defender is the sidelines. In that case, there's no point in letting East return game, particularly the way Keyshawn's running right now, let them get in the extra yards. So KW wisely choosing to kick it out of bounds. It's behind East 30. And that's a good place to hold them down. If nothing else, it gives you a chance to start reading what their offense is going to do. But right now, again, I think they're going to just come and pound it. There's no doubt that their running game is going to work.
5 minutes even on the Pepsi scoreboard. 3 receivers in a triangle to the left, 1 to the right. Brown just stands just to the left of Kanan Zawada, who works out of the shotgun. And he'll give it fake to give, and Zawada will keep it himself right up the middle, picking up some feed, blocks downfield, up the right sideline, cuts back towards midfield. Now he stepped out of bounds in positive territory, right at the 46 or 44-yard line.
And that's, the old saying of speed kills. In that case, Keenan just threw a few extra coals on the fire. When he broke through the line, he saw a big opening to his right, put in full acceleration, and really did a nice job outrunning the linebackers to gain all those extra yards.
And call it about a 28-yard 1st and 10 from the 44-yard line of the Trojans now. 1 man in motion from right to left. Fake to give again, and Zawada's going to keep it himself. He'll fight forward, maybe pick up a yard for Kanan Zawada.
Well, that did a nice job that time. Kelly Walsh's left defensive tackle staying home and getting a nice square up tackle there. Didn't give any extra yards. Landon Smith at 6'4", 275 as a load. And when he jumped on top of Keenan, he wasn't going anywhere.
Zawada will work out of the shotgun. 2nd and 9 from the Kelly Walsh 43-yard line. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Zawada up high, pitches it to the left to Keyshawn Brown, and he'll just bust it up the middle. Brown bounces it outside the numbers to the right. Brown to the 5. Brown is in. That is a Thunderbird touchdown. A 43-yard. Keyshawn Brown to the house, and the Thunderbirds lead 13-0 on the Pepsi scoreboard.
Amazing field awareness there as he hit the left side. You could see his head actually swivel back and forth trying to find the seam. He recognized the inside seam, cut back into it, and then it was just speed on speed. There was no one catching him. Great job for Keyshawn to get down the field and get the points for the T-Birds.
Blake Noose on for the PAT. The snap is good. The hold is down. The kick on the way, and the kick is good as Blake Noose stays perfect for the extra points, and that'll flag down on the far side of the field. We'll have to wait and see.
Like it.
It came in late. We'll have to wait and see what this flag is. Both teams have retreated to the sideline. Maybe they'll just assess it on the kick. 4:06 to play on the Pepsi scoreboard. East with a 14-0 lead, and the officials coming to the sidelines. We'll take a 60-second timeout while they sort this out. You're listening and watching high school football on 1480 K-Ray.
Ready to level up? Show your team pride every time you pay with the new lineup of FNBO Visa debit fan cards. Free with any FNBO checking account. Unlike any card you've seen, with unique design, raised detail, and premium finish. Pay in style, everywhere you go. The new collection, only from FNBO. Visit fnbo.com/debit to get yours.
Chick-fil-A at Windmill and Delrange serves up breakfast, lunch, and dinner each Monday through Saturday. And at Chick-fil-A, they don't have to stray from their menu. They're proud of what they do all the time. Chicken. Check them out online at CheyenneChicken.com and have them cater your next event. Use the convenient drive-thrus, come inside, or use the Chick-fil-A app to do your next order. Chick-fil-A at Windmill and Delrange.
It off from the 45 of Kelly Walsh, and Blake Noose high into the end zone for a touchback, and Kelly Walsh will start at their own 20-yard line. And the Thunderbirds, big plays, big runs. We saw Eldridge hit the house from 43, and I believe from about 45 for Keyshawn Brown.
Don't take away anything from Keenan Zwada making the plays back there. Every time he carries the ball, he's gaining huge yards. They're so concerned about trapping the other two running backs that they're not keeping much of an eye on Keenan. He's going to have a big night.
1st and 10 from their own 20. Split backs with one back set in the wing just to the right. Alvar turns, hands to the second man through. He'll fight forward and pick up some positive yards. Must have tripped and went down. That was Ben Fetter that was trying to work it over on the right side just off tackle.
I have to give Mr. Fetter a little bit of credit there. He looked at the official and said, I wasn't down. He got tripped, but he did land on his hand and never touched his knees. And you can touch your hand. Just if your knee goes down, you're down. And he legitimately could have kept running that, but the officials had already whistled it dead, so the whistle means it's done.
So Fetter picks up 2. 2nd and 8. Alvar. Stretch play out to the right and nowhere to go again. That interior East defensive line holding it to no or little gain. Fighting forward again. Fetter just fights forward, picks up about 3 yards. I thought they had it stopped right at the line of scrimmage, but he squirched through for about a 3-yard gain.
We complimented Keyshawn about his ability to keep his knees high and driving. In that case, Fetter did the same thing, got the first 2-3 guys on him, but he drove right through those tackles and picked up a few more crucial yards for the Trojans.
3rd and 3 from their 27. Alvar up underneath center, split backs behind him, one back just off to the right, the wing stands just behind the tackle, fakes the give, drops to pass, fires over the middle, he's got his man wide open, it's a foot race to the end zone, to the 10, to the 5, and that's a touchdown as Carter Alvar finds Quinn Alvar for the touchdown. There are no flags, and that is nearly a 73-yard touchdown pass from Alvar to Alvar to get the Trojans on the board.
There will be a little discussion on Monday about safety responsibility. There was no doubt that that was going to be a passing play as soon as the quarterback started to roll backwards. And he had 3 guys on the streaks. The safety stayed home as if anticipating a run and let the receiver split him, go right down the center of the field. That probably couldn't have been a more simple pitch and catch right there.
Ethan Leslie on for the PAT. When you're a run-heavy offense, that's where the discipline comes in, and much like you see with the Air Force Falcons occasionally, they'll strike across the middle. Leslie with the PAT. It is up and it is good. 14-7, 2:34 to play in the first quarter on the Pepsi scoreboard. We'll take a 30-second timeout. You're watching and listening to high school football on 1480 K-Ray.
Sometimes you're anticipating it. Sometimes it's unexpected. Occasionally it's something small. But most of the time, it's a pretty big deal. It's your best day ever. And Meridian Trust Federal Credit Union is proud of the part we play in making each of them happen. Whether opening your first savings account or moving into your dream home, Meridian Trust is there for all your best days.
Welcome back to Okie Blanchard Stadium. Reese Monaco, Dan Morris. Kelly Walsh strikes with the big play. And you look at the numbers. Carter Alvar, the quarterback, he averages 64.4 yards per game and plays just like that. It's not like they're just throwing screens and dinking and dunking. It is the big plays. The 73-yard strike for the touchdown that put Kelly Walsh on the board.
Alvar is averaging about 15 yards of completion, so he looks to be a first down plus passer, and that's what happens when you start getting lulled into playing run defense and you tighten up. Everybody's busy watching all those shifts and fake handoffs, and all of a sudden the receivers are behind you, and you totally forgot that they can pass the ball.
Alex Cooper and Keyshawn Brown back deep to receive the kick of Ethan Leslie. Has it teed up at the 40. The wind at his back. High end over ender at Cooper. Will field into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback, and East will start at their own 20.
There's no reason, though, even though they've just given up a quick strike touchdown, there's no reason for the T-Birds to come out and do anything differently. They're going to come out and pound the ball. Keyshawn right now is feeling good, gaining a lot of yards for the T-Birds, and you can anticipate he's going to see the ball a lot, as well as Whsaa running that running that fake and that double read where he's going to decide whether or not he's going to tuck it and go. There's no reason for East to change course. They're anticipating Kelly Walsh to be able to play football, so why panic? You're still up by 7, and you got control of the football game.
Alex Cooper will split off to the left to 2 receivers to the right. Zawada will work out of the shotgun with Keyshawn Brown standing just to his left. Zawada fakes the give, will roll left side, fire. He's got a man wide open. That's Alex Cooper. Picks it right off the top of his shoes. Alex Cooper up the far sideline, slips a tackle still, and he is brought down near the 15, maybe the 14-yard line. Well, they're going to say it was a little bit sooner than that. They'll say it's the 17-yard line.
But what's good for the goose is good for the gander there. They just pulled the same thing Kelly Walsh did on them. A couple of fakes in the backfield. So I looked like he was going to do his typical roll out and go upfield. Instead, receiver breaks out behind. All the defensive backs are staring to the backfield. Giant pickup for the T-Birds.
About a 63-yard pass play for East. Zawada out of the shotgun, takes the snap. He rolls right, looking, and fires to the end zone, and almost a great one-handed catch by Tyree McCord as he drops it. That'll stop the clock at 1:59 on the Pepsi scoreboard. Bring up 2nd down and 10 at the 17.
That play just took a little bit too long. Zawada rolling out a little bit too far. All the receivers had gone in routes and gone on their corners or their square outs, headed to the sidelines. By the time Keenan decided to throw it, receivers are stuffed up against the sidelines. And again, a good defense counts on the 12th man out there, the sidelines, to help play defense. And McCord had to do all he could to reach out, just couldn't bring it back in.
3 wide right. Zawada up the middle to Brown. Brown is hit right at the line of scrimmage and steps back and bounces it a little bit off tackle left, picks up positive yards. Brown around a 4-yard gain, bring up 3rd and 6.
And man, this is a fast-paced game too. I tell you, when East runs this no huddle, they're waggling in calls. This plays go fast. Again, 3 wide on the right, but we have some flags thrown on this one. They're going to slow things down.
Brown, just 6 carries unofficially here in the first quarter for 80 yards for Keyshawn Brown.
Kelly Walsh lining up in the neutral zone, getting an offsides 5-yard offside call.
So that makes it from 3rd and 5 to, 3rd and 6 to 3rd and 1. And Zawada will work out of the shotgun. 3rd and 1 from the Kelly Walsh 13-yard line. Zawada gives to Brown. Brown, big hole left side. He has the first down, going to be to the 5 and driven backwards. And he'll get it to the 5 as Keyshawn Brown picking up some tough yards for the Thunderbirds. And they now have it 1st and goal at the 5.
And I don't want to stand here and fanboy too much over Keyshawn, but what a great job. Again, looking to find the open seam. He started going out to the left side of the line, started cutting to his right. He saw his head swivel left, saw a big gap on left, and cut for some really important yards there. Keyshawn right now is just feeling this game, and he's gaining great yards for the T-Birds.
Cooper Hassler has checked in, and whistles blow before the snap. Flags fly everywhere. 1st and goal at the 6-yard line. 59 seconds to play on the Pepsi scoreboard. 14-7, Thunderbirds with the lead over the Trojans. And an encroachment call on Kelly Walsh. To remain first down is half the distance to the goal. We'll move it inside the 5 near the 3-yard line. Priest.
The way that defense is looking at their left tackle, I think he's guilty both times, because they were smacking him on the back of the head and encouraging him to be conscientious of where that line of scrimmage is.
2 receivers wide right. Zawada right up the middle to Brown. Brown untouched into the end zone. Keyshawn Brown, the 3-yard touchdown run. And the Thunderbirds build their lead back up to 2 scores.
Well, last year when we saw Keyshawn really start to stand up and stand out as a football player, we said he was going to be amazing this year, and he had kind of a slow start to the season, but he's feeling his rhythm right now. He's looking like maybe one of the best in the state.
Blake Noose for the PAT as he remains perfect on the season. The Thunderbirds with a 21-7 lead as they punch it in with 39 seconds to play in the first quarter on the Pepsi scoreboard. We'll take a 30-second timeout. You're watching and listening to high school football on 1480 K-Ray.
Here at Kia of Cheyenne, we're having a grand opening sale with the savings on new Kias. I'm AJ Miller for Kia of Cheyenne, and right now you could save even more on a new 2025 Kia Telluride. The 2025 Kia Telluride will surprise you with standard features, versatility, and comfort for a better value than what's available elsewhere. Stay close to home and pay less here at Kia of Cheyenne. Come by and check out our upgraded facilities. Call 775-0123 or go to kiaofcheyenne.com, and we'll make it easy.
Welcome back to Okie Blanchard Stadium. Monaco and the mayor with you. The Pro Shop sits just to our right with the keyboard just in front of him. And East strikes back quickly after Kelly Walsh used 3 plays on their scoring drive. A 73-yard touchdown pass. Blake Noose has it teed up at the 40.
And we would be remiss not to mention that you can also watch us on YouTube, searching up 1480 KRAE on YouTube. You don't have to look at either of us, thank goodness. You only watch the football game, but you'll still hear us.
Noose, end over ender, fielded at the 4-yard line. Noose's kick on the return, and that is Fetter. He's going to be tripped up and fight his way forward and out across the 20, maybe the 21-yard line.
Fumbled it at the end of the play there, but no one's getting too excited. He screamed and hollered like they wanted the ball, but he was clearly down, or at least was impacting the ground, and the ball caused that ball to come out, or the ground made that ball come out. No fumble there. The officials had that one right.
1st and 10 for the Trojans from their own 22. 32 seconds to play in the first quarter on the Pepsi scoreboard. Maybe one play left in this quarter. Of course, Doug Arnold back at our studios at 1480 K-Ray doing a great job back there. Carter Alvar under center, split backs behind him. Alvar will turn, hand to the second man through. That is Fetter, absolutely nowhere to go. He's hit and spun down for a loss. Wyatt Selnow getting in and throwing Fetter for the 3-yard loss.
Wyatt Selnow, just a superb athlete, plays both sides of the ball really well. In that case, he came from that linebacker position, read that, didn't get fooled at anything, and there was a great job of moving his feet down the line of scrimmage with the running back until he saw the running back start to cut up. Then he cut up, did a great job of making impact in the backfield and dropping the Trojan for a loss.
That is going to do it for the first quarter. The Thunderbirds with the 21-7 lead on the Pepsi scoreboard. We'll take a 60-second timeout. You're watching and listening to high school football on 1480 K-Ray.
The Brake Stop in Casper and Cheyenne is your locally owned brake specialist for over 20 years. ASE certified. We always offer 100% free brake inspection, free tire rotations, and now offering a free alignment check. So for the best brakes, best service, and always the best price, stop at the Brake Stop. See our website and social media for exclusive deals.
Suddenly it's all so clear with Gill Windows. Your home deserves the very best, that's what we give to you. When it comes to vinyl windows, no need to be confused. We manufacture in Wyoming, build them all right here. 'Cause we know the climate, suddenly it's all so clear with Gill Windows.
Welcome back to Okie Blanchard Stadium. 1/4 in the books. East with a 21-7 lead on the Pepsi scoreboard. Kelly Walsh will have it 2nd and 13 to start the second quarter after that 3-yard loss.
And there shouldn't be a surprise that Kell Walsh is going to come out and keep running the football. That's just what they're made to do. They've got their top 5 guys all in either double-digit or near double-digit rushing yards per game, so they're going to keep pounding the rock.
And Carter Alvar under center, fakes the give, he wants to
that.
pass. He fires, He's got a man, and it is caught at the 45, and even with a little bit of pass interference, it looks like, and at the 47-yard line as Carter Alvar has completed 2 passes for Kelly Walsh for over 100 yards.
A little discretionary officiating right there. The official clearly looking right at it. Big contact to the receiver's chest. But since the pass was completed, they were going to give up every yard they gained every yard they were going to get anyway, so the official just let it go.
Nice play action, and again running nearly wide open. This time the run up the middle and a hit in the backfield, plunging forward, trying to find some positive yards is Fetter. He may have got back to the line of scrimmage. They're going to give him a very favorable spot.
I think the sticks moved, and
Oh, okay.
Sticks moved and shouldn't have, Only a gain of 1 on that yard. Defense did a great job of coming up and plugging him right at the hole. Made a nice job of making impact and keeping any extra yards from happening.
2nd and 9 from the 48. Their own 48. Kelly Walsh looking to sustain a drive. Been 3 and out and a big 3-play score. Alvar will work from under center. On the cross, give off to Quinn Alvar, who breaks it out left side and finds some positive yardage.
That was just excellent execution right there by KW, because East had 9 guys in the box and brought everybody on that, anticipating a run. But the lineup for KW did a good job of creating a seam. Running back found the opening spot, shot through, and once those linebackers have attacked into the defensive line, it's very hard for them to flow. They've got to stay back there 3 or 4 yards so they can read the ball and find it. If you overcommit to attacking before you know where the ball is, you're going to get burned every time.
Kelly Walsh settling in a little bit offensively. Carter Alvar back to pass, looking to set up the screen, and he's got his man, and it is complete. That is Quinn Alvar once again to the right side as he rolled right, and then the completion down to the 27-yard line.
While we compliment KW's running game, Carter Alvar right now is looking at throwing about a little over 64 yards a game, and he's got over 320 yards on the season. Completed 21 out of 36 passes. That's pretty efficient. On top of, they don't do a whole lot of it, so most of them are big surprise plays. He's running just below 60% completion, 2 touchdowns on the year. I wouldn't be surprised to see Carter take a few more quick strikes throughout the first half.
This time handed off right up the middle. Alvar
running right into the throat of the T-Birds there. There was no surprise.
Just packing the middle.
Yeah.
They're taking away the run. They are not going to let Kelly Walsh beat him on the ground. That'll be a 1-yard gain. No gain whatsoever.
One of the best tricks a defensive coordinator can do is take his safeties or his small quick guys and put them out there at defensive end. That's really hard for guards to pull or running backs to pick up when you've got those fast, shifty guys out there. And East definitely is lining up those corners right on the edge so they can make a play.
Alvar with the option to the right, pitches it off right, and a big hit on the sideline.
That was designed to look like an option, but probably a planned pitch there. They had a lead back out front. You mentioned Air Force earlier, Reese. A little bit of Air Force look there with the lead back running and the quarterback following him in a pitch option. But I really do think that was actually an intentional pitch. And the T-Birds, what a great job from their 3 linebackers to get down the line of scrimmage and make a big stick.
Ethan Haig on the carry. Picks up 4 yards, 3rd and 6 at the 32-yard line of the T-Birds. Full house backfield once again behind Carter Alvar, and flags fly before Kelly Walsh can get the snap off.
This particular official has been watching the line very closely. Every flag that's been thrown on the line, it's been the same official. Not criticized him for that because he needs to call those things, but he is watching that. And both sides of the ball, kids on both sides need to be very aware if their helmets are hanging over, if they're flinching.
It was a false start on Kelly Walsh. They'll back it up 5 yards. So instead of 3rd and manageable, now it's 3rd and 11 at the 27-yard line.
Look for East to come out with a couple more defensive backs to hit a little bit more spread. They're going to be told to stay home and see what's in front of you before you commit to attack.
2 tight ends, 1 back, and split back. Alvar fakes it, rolls left, stops. Now he's going to be chased out. Alvar fires to the end zone, and it is broken up in the end zone. Good defensive play for the Thunderbirds. That was Jamison Briggs back there.
Jamison, give him a lot of credit. I think he got behind the receiver, was looking at the receiver's eyes and realized the receiver looked up, and Jamison turned just in time and jumped up as high as he could, and as they say, get your hands high, got him up in front of the receiver's eyes and batted that ball away. That was a really nice job for momentarily getting lost. He did a great job of recovering and make a big play for the T-Birds.
4th and 11 for Kelly Walsh. Kind of in no man's land here. Not going to punting. Too long for a field goal for Ethan Leslie. Of course, we saw his leg in warm-ups. They're going to try it.
Yep.
They'll spot it right near the 35-yard line. Alvar will hold hash mark right for a 45-yard field goal here for Ethan Leslie. And the snap is good. The hold is down. The kick has plenty of leg, and it is good.
Wow.
Ethan Leslie, the 45-yard field goal for Kelly Walsh to get them on the board and cut the Thunderbird lead to 11, 21-10. 8:11 to play in the first half on the Pepsi scoreboard. 30-second timeout. You're listening to and watching high school football on 1480 Field K-Ray.
From your head to your toes, we're here to keep you moving. With consultation, treatment, and rehabilitation all in one location, it's easier than ever to get the level of care you deserve. Cheyenne Regional. We inspire great health.
Welcome back to Oakey Blanchard Stadium. A 45-yard Ethan Leslie field goal cuts the Thunderbird lead to 11, 21-10. And we talk about this Kelly Walsh team. They're 1-4 on the season, but Dan, they did hang with Sheridan early in the year.
Yeah, it's amazing to look down the scoreboards and see what they've done against everybody. They're literally within a touchdown or two of everyone and within 100 yards offensively, all-purpose yards within the other team. So Kelly Walsh feels like they can do it. They're just on that edge and have got to fix a few mistakes.
Leslie's kick nearly sails out of the end zone. A touchback, and the Thunderbirds will have it 1st and 10 at their own 20.
You know, you would kind of predict right now that East would love a 7-minute drive, but there's something that tells me the T-Birds aren't capable of thinking that way. They would be thrilled with a 7-second touchdown. So don't anticipate anything slow here. Don't anticipate anything just steady up in the middle runs. They're going to make sure that they're doing everything they can to quickly get in the end zone.
Thunderbirds will split 2 to the right, 1 to the left. Zawada out of the shotgun. Zawada fakes the give. He wants to fire. He's got a man wide open across the middle to the 50, to the 40, to the 30. It's a foot race to the corner, and Eldridge is grabbed and drugged down at the 5-yard line. Trace Eldridge, a huge play right across the middle to the 6 yard line.
That was actually some really nice it was a straight up a deceptive play. They had Keyshawn Brown lined up behind him and set kind of as a wide running back, and everybody was keeping their eyes on Keyshawn because he set up like he was going to get a screen pass, and Eldridge just went right up the seam. Safety's sitting there watching him, and he went past, and well, a little speed on KW's part ran him down.
74-yard play, and the give across the right side, just muscling his way through. That is Selnow. Was that Wyatt Selnow? Yeah, Wyatt Selnow on the carry. We'll work it inside the 5.
Nothing fancy about that. Again, we talked about the athlete that Wyatt is, and that was pure athlete right there. Big speed across, cut up inside the tackle, did a nice job of gaining an extra yard with just using his big power there.
Inside give, and Selnow is hit and bounces it off right side. Wyatt Selnow is in, and the Thunderbirds strike quickly.
We talked about 7 seconds or 7 minutes. The T-Birds aren't interested in anything 7 minutes. They love to go fast. They put points on the board. That's their MO every single week. They're not afraid to try and drop 50 on a team because that's what they do. Their offense is that effective, and there's nothing they can do to slow it down.
Snap is good, the kick is up, and the kick is good. And just like that, the Thunderbirds answer that field goal with a touchdown drive of their own, a 3-play touchdown drive. 28-10, 7:18 to play in the first half. We'll take a 30-second timeout. You're watching and listening to high school football on 1480 K-Ray.
This is your journey. But whatever direction you take, whatever path you find, wherever your journey leads, everything you need to get there is right here. Find your path and your community at LCCC.
73 yards from Zawada to Eldridge to set up the scoring plunge from Wyatt Selnow. Selnow taking it the rest of the way.
You know, one thing that makes this Thunderbird program so successful, people want to talk about how East does it. You look down on the sidelines and you see a bunch of men, and I mean the older guys that are not wearing shoulder pads. Most of them have been here for several years throughout Goff's career. Travis Eldridge, Steve Hesford, Paul Garcia, Jesse Blund, those guys have been long-time contributors to this program, and every one of them have Goff's complete trust.
Blake Noose, a low liner, and it's in the end zone. It will be a touchback as Noose again finds the end zone. Big plays all over this Oakey Blanchard Stadium field.
Now, right now is when you're going to throw the challenge to Steve Hesford and his defensive staff. Step up right now, shut the KW rush down, force them into a punt situation. The T-Birds would love to go into the locker room at halftime up by at least 25 points. So that's got to be the goals. Get the ball back in these final 7 minutes and score again. Make sure you put a nail into KW's first half coffin.
Carter Alvar will work under center once again. In the backfield with him, Fetter, split backs behind him. In motion, Quinn Alvar. Pitch it off right side, trying to find some running room, off tackle right side. Maybe picked up a yard.
Wow,
and that is Hag, I believe, that gets up off the bottom of the pile.
Looks like they're giving him 4, Reese.
Wow. Again, I'm really not seeing it real well, but they gave him a 4-yard gain, a very favorable spot once again.
I think you did a nice job of calling the first contact, but the running back just doing a great job of continuing to pound his legs. Haig is not going to go down easy. They've got to respect his 175 pounds. He uses every ounce of it.
Alvar will just pitch it back. Better this time. He's hit and driven backwards. That was Jamison Briggs that got there initially. Maybe a 1-yard gain.
Jamison Briggs right there paying attention since 7th grade football on form tackles. Did a great job getting his feet wide, dropped his hips, kept his chin up, and just squared his shoulder right into the running back's chest, drove him backwards. Fantastic tackle.
3rd and 5 from the 24-yard line. Kelly Walsh breaks their huddle and slowly walks up to the line. Carter Alvar will give it off and looking for a little inside handoff and a fly sweep. That is Quinn Alvar. And you talk about a form tackle, Dan, right at the sticks. Quinn Alvar was hit and just driven backwards. He does have the first down, though.
Senior Alex Cooper right there said, not today, not in my house. Boy, that was a hit, too. A little bit of cutback by Haig. Was that Haig carrying the ball on that one?
That was Quinn Alvar.
Alvar trying to make a little bit of a cut. And Cooper says, nope, squares up with him and does a great job of planting him on his backside.
Feller and Haig in the backfield, split backs. Quinn Alvar in the slot. Now Carter Alvar wants to pass, and lots of pressure, just hangs this one up and overthrows his intended receiver. The pass was intended for William Alt.
That's the painful thing. Alt, that's his second time missing a pass like that where he's actually behind the defensive backs and the ball just has a little bit too much elevation on it, which means when it's coming back down, it's going to follow short. And as the receiver turned to try to catch it, that's really tough to be moving backwards, falling on your back, and still reach over your catch pass. That's just, if you made that pass, that would have been the catch of the day.
And throwing off his back foot was Carter Alvar. He was feeling some heat. The East defensive front getting in on him. And Dan, you mentioned they were just going to blitz and bring it pretty much all game, and that's what they've done to this point. Carter Alvar under center will give to the second man through, and he's tripped up as he works his way across the 30 out near the 32, 33-yard line.
And Kason Kinsler not hesitating to come up and apply a big hit from his linebacker position. The defense did a really nice job of reading that play. There was not a lot of deception in the backfield. All the linebackers were able to flow, and as soon as they saw that gap, they filled it faster than the running back, and minimal damage by that on that play.
3rd and 8 from their own 31-yard line. 28-10. Thunderbirds with the lead over Kelly Walsh. Fetter in the backfield, split back with Haig. Carter Alvar fakes the give, some pressure. He's being flushed out. He's going to keep it himself and find some room around the left side out near the sticks. He has a first down and maybe a yard more. We'll call it a 9-yard gain for Carter Alvar on the scamper and the first down.
Carter Alvar is picking up about 20 yards a game rushing it, and his long is 20 yards. So he's pretty effective. When he decides to go, he's going. Has 100 yards, a little over 100 yards on the season. But he obviously is a fast kid because, boy, when he got past the line of scrimmage, he was pouring on the gas and really did a nice job of picking up extra yards.
Quinn Alvar in the backfield with Haig behind Carter Alvar up underneath center. And on the inside handoff again, that little cross, that inside cross, tried to get that one to Fetter, and he had nowhere to go, and he sniffed that one out and threw it for a 2-yard loss.
Really interesting play on that because I've been watching the defensive ends who are technically corners playing up Keyshawn Brown in particular on that play. They haven't been playing wide. They're doing this attack stunt where everyone's slanting to one side or the other. Not sure what read that Coach Hesford's getting out of it, but they're slanting to one side. In that case, Keyshawn did a great job of slanting and ran right into the gap, made a nice stick.
Sidell Johnson, one of the defenders the defensive end, really coming on. Deep back. That is Fetter. He's hit, and now the Thunderbirds rally to the ball right at the stake. That's the original line of scrimmage. Maybe got the 3 back and then some.
It looked like Josiah Garcia was in there in the backfield. Probably should have tripped him up, but did a nice job. The running back did a nice job of keeping his knees high and cleared the tackle. But then, as you said, Reese, the next 3 guys came up and did a nice job of stuffing that as well.
And the 5-yard gain will make it 3rd and 8 from the 43-yard line of the Trojans as the clock continues to tick. Kelly Walsh taking time off the clock, and Chad Goff, I'm sure he's pleased with that. With the 18-point lead, he's in absolutely no hurry. Alvar fakes the give, now fires, and it's off the hands of his intended receiver. 3 Thunderbirds were there to collapse on Evan Martinez as it bounced off him and went up into the air, and that's when it becomes dangerous, Dan.
Well, let's start with the tackle there. Hands up high over your head, and 3 T-Birds decide to crush your ribs. That's a really tough play to make anyway, and Wyatt Sell now leading the pack there. Came up and did a nice job of just squeezing that receiver until the ball popped out. No chance of a completion on that. And as you said, that probably could have been the easy return if there was a defensive back, left back there that wasn't making a hit.
Wesley on to punt on 4th and 8. Eldridge and Brown back deep to receive. They stand at their own 20. Here comes the pressure from the outside. Leslie does get it off. It's just a low end-over-ender that will sail out of bounds near the 25. This is all just going to depend on where the official decides to run up and mark it as he continues to walk. He'll mark it out of bounds at the 27-yard line. That's where the Thunderbirds will take over.
2:56 left. There's no doubt in anyone's mind here that's wearing black that they can score again very easily in 3 minutes remaining. So expect to see East probably come out and pound it a few times to figure out where KW's lining up, and they're going to go for a quick strike and go deep.
Kanan Zawada leads his guys out onto the field. Zawada will have Zom in the backfield. Zom playing near fullback position, and Zawada takes the snap, fires right, it's complete, he's got his man, and shoved out of bounds after about a 5-yard gain. That is Tyree McCord on the pitch and catch, and McCord with the 5-yard gain.
Great coaching and great player thinking right there, because McCord could have cut back inside, but he would have been tackled and the clock would have kept running. Instead, he wisely chose to duck to his left and get out of bounds, stop the clock.
2nd and 5 from the 32. Zawada out of the shotgun, high snap, and now setting up the middle screen, and it just goes through the hands of Trace Eldridge.
Oh, and I don't want to be critical of Trace, but that one should have been caught. That was right off his forehead. I think his eyes got a little big anticipating linebackers coming at him, which is a very natural thing to do for high school kids every once in a while, especially if your hands as a receiver get above your head. You just know you're exposing your rib cage and everything there just ready to get crushed. And Trace made the wise decision to not catch it.
2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Zawada out of the shotgun. Zawada fakes the give. He's going to drop back, has plenty of time. He's flushed out, rolls right, pump fakes, fires, and he has his man. That is Zom, Clayton Zom.
What a great little play, too. Zawada doing a couple fakes. Defense couldn't tell whether he was going to run or not, and as we've mentioned already, Zawada's a heck of a running back himself, so they had to respect the ability for him to rush for the first down. And as the defense pulled up to try to pressure him, he did a nice job of finding Zom over the top for an easy completion of first down.
14-yard gain for the Thunderbirds. 3 receivers to the left. Zawada out of the shotgun, drops the pass again, looks right. He has Brown. Brown makes a man miss, tiptoes the sideline in his run out of bounds. And East with a little short passing game here to just move the chains and take some time off the clock. But Zawada to Brown for the 5-yard gain.
Taking time off the clock, sure, but not very much. They're doing a very good job of controlling the pace of the game, keeping the ball on the outside, getting out of bounds, controlling the minutes so they get down there and kick at least a field goal, if not get 6.
Zawada flushed out, steps up in the pocket, pump fakes, he's grabbed, and down he goes. Zawada is going to be thrown for a 1-yard loss. Nobody to throw it to, and he was just grabbed by the shoulder pad in the jersey and ripped down.
You got to give credit where credit is due. Defense for KW stepping in there, led by a junior Tyler Schmidt. Fairly good-sized kid, is 6'1", 190 pounds. He put his paw out there and grabbed hold of Zawada's jersey, and Zawada was not going anywhere.
3rd and 5 from the 49-yard line. Zawada again will work out of the shotgun. Empty backfield. Zom in the wing position. 2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Zawada, he's going to roll to his left to fire a short pass. He's got a man, and that is going to be enough for a first down. On the reception, that is Alex Cooper. There is a flag down. Have to wait to see what the call is, but that would have been enough for a first down and then some. About an 8-yard Zawada to Cooper pass to work it into plus territory. So have to see if the illegal man downfield or what this might be. Holding on the Thunderbirds, so that will negate it.
You know, sometimes you got to appreciate the openness of officials, because he's calling numbers tonight, and that never makes a kid feel good. So after that call, Brandon Shaver out there shaking his head of, yeah, I know. But, you know, it's tough as a lineman. When those quarterbacks roll out, you're not sure how far they're rolling out. You're just anticipating to be able to square your hips to the defender and stay with him. And if the quarterback gets a little wide, your defender gets to peel off, and the natural tendency is to grab him.
We got 3rd and we'll call it 15 from the 39-yard line of the Thunderbirds. Zawada wants to pass across the middle. He's got a man in. What a completion! And just bobbling the ball. That was Eldridge that had it, and then he bobbled it and fell on it. East, and there's a flag down.
Oh, Trace is kicking himself, too, because that was another seam route. Did a great job of getting down the middle, wide open, and as soon as he caught it, right through a little bit of ball, but then he started to rotate the ball to his outside hand to accelerate, and the defender came up behind him, batted it right out.
And it looks like this one may be coming back anyway. Officials pointing towards the Thunderbirds, or now they're going to gather around and talk about it.
And East defense.
It is a block in the back on East. Well, penalty is. Did Kelly Walsh recover that?
Yeah, they recovered it, and East has run their defense out there ready to go. No big surprise into that. Penalty making no difference whatsoever. The ball's going to stay where it was downed. KW ball with 1:22 left.
So it was dropped and recovered by Kelly Walsh. They'll have it 1st and 10 at their own 27. Inside give. And I think Kelly Walsh might be content to just kind of run this out and see if they can pop one.
But and as a defensive player, too, whether you're at linebacker or defensive line, those inside handoffs are so hard to read because the quarterback is actually spinning, putting his back to the line, hiding the football. You're not sure who's exactly taking it, who's keeping it. And, again, we go back to the point we made earlier. Everyone has to stay home and play their assignment. You start chasing ghosts, you're going to lose every time. And that did a decent job by the Thunderbirds in that play there to stay and make sure that the play happened.
Full house backfield once again behind Alvar. That's Carter Alvar up underneath center. He'll just sneak it. Well, you can't call it a quarterback sneak anymore. The common term for it now is the tush push.
And that was clearly a tush push there. Full backfield coming up behind him, giving him the shove, and hey, it was effective. I mean, they moved that pile. Thunderbirds are packed in 6 guys on the line, 3 linebackers. Everybody came hard. There was no big surprise, but KW's big boys did a nice job. We only have 10 seconds left here, Reese, so I'm not sure we're going to see anything happen.
Lamb and Garcia on the tackle, and that will do it for the first half. And East made one mistake, and that was the fumble and the long pass play. 2 mistakes if you want to call it that, but that will do it for the first half. 28-10, the Thunderbirds leading the Trojans on the Pepsi scoreboard. We will take a 4-minute timeout. You're watching and listening to high school football on 1480 K-Ray.
There are a lot of bad words in our vocabulary, including this 6-letter word, winter. Larry Prawley from the Morning Pro Shop letting you know Old Man Winter is headed our way. So with that being said, it's time to get your vehicles ready for the bitter cold and snowy conditions by stopping into Cheyenne Auto Repair and Service for your service work and minor repairs, from adding antifreeze to heating your car and everything in between. John and his excellent crew will help keep you motoring in any and all seasons. Plus, John is a TechNet professional, certifying he is one of the best in the country when it comes to taking care of your vehicle, big or small. Cheyenne Auto Repair and Service, 604 West Lincoln Way, open Monday through Friday. Call and set up an appointment at 632-0498. Cheyenne Auto Repair and Service, serving our area for well over 30 years. When you're paying the right price for protection, you just know it. It's that warm, fuzzy, totally secure feeling, knowing that you're not only getting great coverage, but you're also not paying too much for it. And there's no one that knows that feeling like Cheyenne Allstate agent Jason Gilbert, because he works every day to get people like you the coverage they need with the savings they deserve. Contact him for a free quote today. Allstate, you're in good hands. Savings vary based on the average annual savings reported by surveyed in 2019 who switched to Allstate.
Visit the heart of Cheyenne's history at the The Depot Museum is home to many events and is a National Historic Landmark as the last Grand Railroad station on the Transcontinental Route. See the narrow-gauge UCNN model railroad, and don't forget to visit the Depot Gift Shop, where they have many unique gift ideas. Open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., Saturday 9 a.m. to 3 p.m., and Sunday 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. The Cheyenne Depot Museum at 121 West 15th Street in the heart of downtown Cheyenne.
That's the sound of a Mountain Dew. And that's you enjoying its refreshing citrus kick. That's a cool breeze suddenly whistling through your hair.
Whoa!
That's you realizing you're now on a mountain.
This is epic!
That's you stating the obvious. That's you stepping up to the plate. That's you winning your kickball game.
Yes! Let's go!
That's you taking another sip of your Do the Do.
Tired of watching your savings sit still? At First Tier Bank, we work hard to keep our CD rates at or the top of the market because your money deserves more. No gimmicks, no hidden fees, just Cheyenne banking with real returns. Visit firsttierbanks.com or stop by one of our Cheyenne branches today, downtown at 18th and Cary or Stillwater Avenue, Cheyenne. First Tier Banks, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
The players return to the field. Up to bat are the Warriors. First up, number 7. There's the pitch. It's a hit, good for a single. Next, number 18. He swings, line drive to center field. 15 steps up, another hit. Bases loaded now as number 40 approaches the plate. It's headed for the fence. Grand slam, the Warriors win the game. Make it home safe. Buckle up, every passenger, every trip, every time.
Suddenly it's all so clear with Gill Windows. Your home deserves the very best, that's what we give to you. When it comes to vinyl windows, no need to be confused. We manufacture in Wyoming, build them all right here. 'Cause we know the climate, suddenly it's all so clear with Gill Windows.
Welcome back to Oakey Blanchard Stadium. At the half, the Thunderbirds leading Casper, Kelly Walsh 28-10 on the Pepsi scoreboard. Reese Monaco, Dan Morris, and Dan, it appeared as if it was just going to be a blowout the way things started, but this Kelly Walsh team, a couple of huge plays, a big pass plays, and East selling out to stop the run, and a couple of receivers getting behind the East defense to come up with a couple of scores. Well, one long score and a long field goal for Kelly Walsh. But now East is we mentioned Kanan Zawada with his legs and his arm, and I think when you look at Kelly Walsh defensively, they are number 10 in the state defensively against the pass, giving up 171 yards per game. And East has found a way to expose that across the middle. Unfortunately, Eldridge tried to switch arms as he was running, and the ball coughed it up, and Kelly Walsh recovered it there late. But East has just been moving the ball up and down the field offensively. Defensively, they've done a great job just absolutely stuffing the Kelly Walsh rush. Kelly Walsh averages about 191 yards per game on the ground, and East unofficially has held them to 67 in the first half.
I think, Reese, if you look at both of these teams and what they thought was going to happen tonight, from KW sidelines, while yes, East's defense has made some big plays and done a nice job, KW's playing, their call playing and their execution has actually been pretty good. They're playing the number 2 ranked team in the state, arguably tied for number 1. I mean, Sheridan barely squeaked past East earlier in the season. East is clearly one of the 2 favorite teams to head to Laramie for the championships in November. And KW right now, while they're down by 18 points, I don't think there's any reason to go into the locker room and hang your head much. Flip that around now, knowing how demanding Steve Hesford, defense coordinators, Chad Goff is, and their staff. I'm betting you right now that the 1-2 locker rooms that are a little upset right now is the East High locker room, because Chad Goff expects excellence out of his group, and he expects to be in Laramie in November, and he expects them to dominate every team, and East has shown a couple cracks here and there, and that's not how you win a championship. And Goff's in there right now telling them we have got to clean things up. We have got to play perfect football if we want to see Sherrod again in November in Laramie.
Yeah. East High marching band is out on the Okie Blanchard turf here, and of course it was senior night for the band. They introduced the seniors for the East High band, and you know, just as I always talk about the band, they decide to stop marching and playing. That's the way it always works, isn't it?
But it's lovely background music for us.
Don't let the silence be any indication of the marching they were doing, which was absolutely outstanding. We are at the half. Thunderbirds with the 28-10 lead over Casper, Kelly, Walsh. We're going to take another 4-minute timeout. We'll come back with some unofficial halftime statistics for you. It's high school football. You're watching and listening to high school football on 1480 K-Ray.
At Fat Boys Tire and Auto, our business is about more than just selling tires and fixing cars. We believe in faith, family, and community. The Fat Boys family has been serving Wyoming and Nebraska for over 50 years, and 3 generations later, our values have never changed. When you need tires or auto repairs, find the Fat Boys, and we'll treat you like family. Fat Boys Tire and Auto in Cheyenne, Laramie, Scottsbluff, and Wheatland. Get price quotes and schedule service at fatboystires.com.
Ready to level up? Show your team pride every time you pay with the new lineup of FNBO Visa debit fan cards. Free with any FNBO checking account. Unlike any card you've seen, with unique design, raised detail, and premium finish. Pay in style everywhere you go. The new collection, only from FNBO. Visit fnbo.com/debit to get yours.
Don't fumble with your family dinner tonight. Score extra points at Two Doors Down. Two Doors Down is wired for football season, and with a menu that won't penalize your pocketbook. Two Doors Down menu selections are perfect for the active family, from gourmet burgers and bottomless fries to soups and salads to the all-new platters, and of course your favorite beverages. Tackle your family's cravings tonight at Two Doors Down, 118 East 17th Street. For full menu and specials, go to twodoorsdown.net. Two Doors Down, flippin' great burgers since 2009.
Cheyenne, family owned and operated since 1982. You can buy and sell your gold or silver along with other precious metals, including palladium and platinum, at the coin shop each Tuesday through Friday. You'll always get top dollar for your gold or silver, as David Brockman has his eye on the precious metals market each day. So stop on by for a fair and honest appraisal of your precious metals, or give David a call and set up a time to stop by. You'll always find coin collections, collectible coins, proof and mini sets, and more today. So why wait for the others? Shop the Coin Shop in historic downtown Cheyenne at 510 West 16th Street, open Tuesday through Friday from 9 a.m. until 5 p.m. Or give them a call at 778-7196.
That's the sound of a Mountain Dew. And that's you enjoying its refreshing citrus kick. That's a cool breeze suddenly whistling through your hair.
Whoa!
That's you realizing you're now on a mountain.
This is epic!
That's you
Visit the heart of Cheyenne's history at the Cheyenne Depot Museum. The Depot Museum is home to many events and is a National Historic Landmark as the last Grand Railroad station on the Transcontinental Route. See the narrow gauge UCNN model railroad, and don't forget to visit the Depot gift shop where they have many unique gift ideas. Open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., Saturday 9 a.m. to 3 p.m., and Sunday 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. The Cheyenne Depot Museum at 121 West 15th Street in the heart of downtown Cheyenne.
When you're paying the right price for protection, you just know it. It's that warm, fuzzy, totally secure feeling, knowing that you're not only getting great coverage, but you're also not paying too much for it. And there's no one that knows that feeling like Cheyenne Allstate agent Jason Gilbert, because he works every day to get people like you the coverage they need with the savings they deserve. Contact him for a free quote today. Allstate, you're in good hands. Savings vary based on the average annual savings reported by new auto customers surveyed in 2019 who switched to Allstate.
We're celebrating the grand opening of our new showroom with a sale on new Kias. I'm AJ Miller for Kia of Cheyenne. Right now, come in for savings on a new 2025 Kia Carnival, which will give you more features, safety advancements, comfort, and much more. There's no need to go anywhere else. We've upgraded our facilities to provide you with an even better service for an exceptional car buying experience. Come in, call 775-0123 or go to KiaofCheyenne.com. We'll make it easy.
Sports in general, for that matter, brought to you in part by Laramie County Community College, Cheyenne Regional Medical Center, Chick-fil-A, Halliday Subaru, Wyoming Department of Transportation, the Cheyenne Depot Museum, Two Doors Down, Burns Insurance Agency, and Meridian Trust Federal Credit Union. Let's take a look at some unofficial halftime statistics for you. Team stats. East has done a great job against Kelly Walsh Rush. Kelly Walsh has ran the ball 22 times unofficially for 58 yards, and Carter Alvar through the air 3 of 6 for 134 yards. A couple of huge pass plays, including the 73-yard touchdown pass to Quinn Alvar. And for East, 16 carries unofficially, 190 yards, and a lot of those came early. Keenan Zawada through the air, 8 of 10, 182 yards. East, 372 yards unofficially of total offense. Kelly Walsh with 192 yards total offense. Individually, Hag with 6 carries for 26 yards. Feller with 9 carries for 19. Carter Alvar, 2 carries, 13 yards. Quinn Alvar, 4 carries, 16 yards. And there was one with minus 3. I gave you Alvar's passing numbers, 134 yards. And Quinn Alvar, the recipient of all of those, 134 unofficially. For East, Keyshawn Brown, a big first half, 8 carries for 88 yards, including 2 touchdowns, and that includes a 43-yard scamper. Kanan Zawada, 5 carries, 52 yards. Wyatt Selnow, 2 carries, 6 yards, including a touchdown. And Trace Eldridge, 45 yards on 1 carry, and that included a touchdown as he took it to pay dirt. Keyshawn Brown, 2 catches, 8 yards. Tyree McCord, 1 catch for 5 yards. Clayton Zom, 1 catch for 14 yards. Alex Cooper, 1 catch, 63 yards. And Trace Eldridge, 3 catches, 92. And again, let me emphasize, these are all unofficial statistics, doing the best that we can here. Dan has a look at some scores from around the state.
Hey, thank you, Reese. Big points there or big yardage from East High. Really, their offense is just clicking right now. But yes, let's share a little bit of love across the county. We all love our little towns around here. Right now we have Wheatland at Burns, a 7 o'clock kickoff, so we don't have an update on the score yet. They're only about 15 minutes into the game. And number 1 Pine Bluffs all the way up at Lusk. Again, that was a 7 o'clock kickoff game, as most of those 1A, 2A games get going at 7, and there's no update yet. But across the 4A, all these games are at halftime or in the second half. Across town with number 1 Sheridan taking on number 4 Cheyenne Central. It's the Bronx out front, 21-0 at halftime. Here, of course, at Cheyenne East, number 2 East against Kelly Walsh up 28-10. Then we go to the south side of Cheyenne, where we have Campbell County, number 3 ranked Campbell County ahead of the Fighting Bison, 42-0 at halftime. We'll go across the hill over in Laramie, number 5 Natrona County, blanking the Plainsmen 10-0. And then if you head up a little bit further west, head over to Rock Springs, you find Thunder Basin beating the Rock Springs Tigers 24-0. That is your Pepsi updated high school scoreboard.
Dan, are you kind of surprised that with over 2 minutes left in the half after recovering that fumble, that Kelly Walsh kind of sat on it? They had been able to hit some deep pass plays, get some guys deep, they kicked a 45-yard field goal, for goodness sakes, that they didn't try to get any points.
Sometimes when your offense doesn't feel like everything is working, and you get in a really long extended 20-minute timeout here at halftime, sometimes it's safer to just say, this is a 70-yard drive. We're not designed to make 70 yards in a play. So maybe let's sit on it, take care of it. Let's get in the locker room, draw some stuff on the whiteboard, talk about where we're breaking down and what we can be better. So, KW coaches might be the smart move there, just to say we don't want any more damage, run the clock out, and come back to live another day in the second half. T-Birds, I said, I think they're in there, and they're firing those boys up. They're like, it's time to shut things down. It is time to make a stand, make a stance, make a statement. If we're getting to Laramie, it starts right now. This second half has got to be perfection, and Chad Goff demands a lot out of his boys, and they know how to give it.
Especially when you have your crosstown rivals waiting for you next week. This is one of those trap type of games. It's a good thing it's here at Okie Blanchard Stadium and at home, and don't want to be looking ahead to Central. Focus right now is for the second half against Casper, Kelly Walsh, and of course Central unfortunately up in Sheridan, and they're going to come back having to lick their wounds and a little bit angry. Scoring recap, East got on the board first, a 45-yard Trace Eldridge touchdown run, made it 7-0, 3-4 play, East drive, and then East with a 45-yard touchdown run, that is Brown, and got on the board again, and 73-yard Carter Alvard to Quinn Alvard touchdown pass for Kelly Walsh to cut into the lead to make it 14-7 East. And Keyshawn Brown with his second touchdown, plunging in from 3 yards out, making it 21-7. Leslie with a 45-yard field goal to make it 21-10. Sell now from 3 yards out, he carried it twice for 6 yards, and he got in from 3 yards out to make it 28-10. And that was your first half scoring for East. They started off just 2 big runs, and I tell you, Trace Eldridge, I like the way he plays, Dan. I mean, you got Keyshawn Brown, who's a little bit of thunder, and Eldridge is that possession guy, the quick guy coming out of the slot and working across the middle. A lot of times in high school, the middle is the widest open on the field, and we've seen that a couple times.
And that's just the natural tendency of high school safeties. They should be staying home, usually in a cover 2 where they're splitting the field in half. Each guy is responsible for his half, but if you have dangerous running backs on the side, there's just this tendency as a safety to want to be overly aggressive and go make the play, rush up there and make the tackle, and before you know it, your coach is looking at you going, don't let them get behind you, and sure enough, you did and gave up some points. But I don't think that's going to be a problem this second half. KW is going to come back and do exactly what they did in the first half. I don't think they have a lot of variety, a lot of different looks to change things up. They're just going to keep doing what they are. But East playbook, they just run at you through so many fronts and so many different looks, and they're just ready to score at any chance they get. You just, like I said, Chad Goff loves to put 50 points on the board, and while they probably statistically are well on their way, needing maybe 4 more touchdowns, it wouldn't be surprising to see them go for even more than that.
Honoring the senior cross-country runners here for Cheyenne East as you see them on the track here at Okie Blanchard Stadium. Thunderbirds are out on the field. Kelly Walsh out on the field, and I would assume they're going to put 3 more minutes up on the Pepsi scoreboard, so we'll just let it wind down, and if they do, we'll take a brief timeout and be back with the second half here on 1480 K-Ray. And again, you can stream video with us on our YouTube channel. Search engine 1480 K-R-A-E. And it is good to be back here on the air after Dan and I took last week off in the Pro Shop gathering up at Casper, Natrona. It's always fun to go up to Natrona, and that they've got a great facility except for the press box. Unless they have done, and they have put 3 minutes on the Pepsi scoreboard. We're going to take a 2-minute timeout. We'll be back with your second half. East and Kelly Walsh here on 1480 K-Ray.
The Brake Stop in Casper and Cheyenne is your locally owned brake specialist for over 20 years. ASE certified. We always offer 100% free brake inspection, free tire rotations, and now offering a free alignment check. So for the best brakes, best service, and always the best price, stop at the Brake Stop. See our website and social media for exclusive deals.
From your head to your toes, we're here to keep you moving. With consultation, treatment, and rehabilitation all in one location, it's easier than ever to get the level of care you deserve. Cheyenne Regional. We inspire great health.
Sometimes you're anticipating it. Sometimes it's unexpected. Occasionally it's something small. But most of the time, it's a pretty big deal. It's your best day ever. And Meridian Trust Federal Credit Union is proud of the part we play in making each of them happen. Whether opening your first savings account or moving into your dream home, Meridian Trust is there for all your best days.
The players return to the field. Up to bat are the Warriors. First up, number 7. There's the pitch. It's a hit, good for a single. Next, number 18. He swings. Line drive to center field. 15 steps up. Another hit. Bases loaded now as number 40 approaches the plate. It's headed for the fence. Grand slam. The Warriors win the game. Make it home safe. Buckle up, every passenger, every trip, every time.
Welcome back to Okie Blanchard Stadium. Already get the second half underway here. The Thunderbirds leading Kelly Walsh 28-10 on the Pepsi scoreboard. High school football and high school sports on K-Ray brought to you in part by the Brake Stop at 1622 East Lincoln Way. Cheyenne Auto Repair and Service, First Tier Bank, Advanced Comfort Solutions, Gill Windows and Shutters, The Coin Shop, Platte Valley Bank, Fat Boys Tire and Off Auto, Jason Gilbert, your Allstate insurance agent. Blake Noose has it teed up at the 40 and back deep for Kelly Walsh. Standing at their old goal line is Fetter and Martinez. Evan Martinez and Ben Fetter right on their own goal line, and Noose is going to put foot to ball here in just a second. We're just waiting for the officials to let them get this going. Still announcing some of the cross-country players here.
I was going to say, I think they're doing a courtesy to the announcer, trying to get the seniors out of the way. Looks like they're down to their final senior, so we're probably just about ready for kickoff.
There are quite a few.
Wow.
Running for pleasure. It's something that I just couldn't understand, but these young kids certainly do enjoy it.
My wife likes to say, if I'm running, you better be running too, because something's chasing me.
There better be a bear chasing me or something, and he's going to get a heck of a meal because he'll catch me, I can tell you that.
Well, I'm going to trip you on the way by.
You just got to outrun one person, right? Noose puts the foot to the ball, and it's a low liner, taking it the third, and taking it the 3, by Martinez. Martinez picks up a couple blocks, bounces it out to the outside to the 20, to the 25. He'll be shoved out of bounds. Looks like he'll work it out to the 28-yard line, where Kelly Walsh will start their first possession of the second half.
Martinez stepping out of bounds there, showing a little frustration. He knew he had a big return in him right there. He got out on the left side, picked up a few really nice blocks, and took one defender to step up in front of him to stop that. But Martinez saw an end zone coming real fast if he could have just made one cut back inside.
1st and 10 at the 28-yard line. Kelly Walsh, again, 3 backs lined up in I formation, just a straight line behind Carter Alvar. Gives to the third man through, tripped up, gets to the 30-yard line, grabbed right around the ankles. Getting off the bottom of the pile is Ben Fetter, A 2-yard gain for Fetter.
Josiah Garcia stepping up there, making a nice wrap from his linebacker position. There was nothing fancy about that play. 3 guys stacked in the backfield, all went off to A-gap, the right side A-gap, and Josiah came up and just put a big hit right in the middle of it.
Call it a gain of 3, 3rd and 7 from the 31. Again, 3 backs just lined up straight behind the quarterback Alvar up under center. This time gives it to the second man through. That is Hag, and Hag going to fight his way forward and keeps those legs churning. Picks up a couple.
Those are hard yards, too, because there's nothing fancy. Kelly Walsh not pulling any guards, not doing any fancy blocking up front. It's every man take care of the guy in front of you. And right now the East East linebackers doing a great job of filling the gap and shutting down the run.
Maybe a 1-yard gain. 3rd and 6. 28-10. Alvar under center, split backs behind him, fakes the give, wants to pass, fires to his right. He's got a man, and it is pulled in right. What a catch for Kelly Walsh. That is Quinn Alvar, as he caught that right on the fingertips for a nice gain for the Trojans.
Quinn just doing a nice job of showing his speed, getting upfield about 6-8 yards and doing a quick corner cut. Boy, say that 3 times fast. Quick corner cut and getting outside safeties. Safety's still sitting in that 2-man situation. They couldn't get enough defenders over to cover all the receivers.
Split backs again with the tush push.
And he's not falling for it.
Not falling, you're exactly right. And maybe again, picking up 2-3 yards on the quarterback sneak for Kelly Walsh.
We've said it a few times, and I'm going to back you on this, Reese. I think that might have been a little bit of a generous mark. That was a pile made, and then he kind of pushed off the top of the pile. The whistles blew, and they gave him the extra yard. That at this point doesn't hurt much, but probably a pretty generous spot.
2nd and 7 from their own 45. 3 backs lined up straight behind. Carter Alvar under center. Hands the 3rd man through. That's Fetter. Fetter off tackle left side. Dives forward.
I'm just really surprised to see Kelly Walsh not pulling guards and pulling them down the line to the play side. Maybe they're just respecting that East High's defensive linemen are well trained and understand to follow that pull and create havoc in the backfield. But Kelly Walsh right now straight up man-on-man blocking, a little bit of slant zone situation, but really there's enough defenders up that every guy's got to block the guy in front of him, and East is always keeping their linebackers free to flow and make tackles.
3rd and 4 from their own 48-yard line. Split backs behind Alvar this time, changing the look just a little bit, and they'll on the inside give to Quinn Alvar. Tries to work it around left end. He's going to be tripped up. Fall out near the 1st down marker, and I think he got just enough. A 4-yard gain to Quinn Alvar.
Sometimes there's the perfect foreign tackle. In that case, Clayton Zom pulling off the perfect shoestring tackle, reaching out one-handed, grabbing the back foot of the runner and actually tripping him up, which is a surprise tackle. As a running back, you don't even know the hand's there. Next thing you know, you're on your face. But as you said, Reese, enough for the 1st down.
Carter Alvar under center. He's the 3rd man in that 3 lineup. Straight up the middle, lowering his head and fighting forward for nearly a 4 or 5 yard gain. That is Fetter.
Boy, and there's no one on this football field is shying away from some big hits, and in that play right there, that was a whole lot of heavy bodies colliding with each other. If you give credit to the offense about a nice drive, you give the defense about a nice stop, but that was 2 trains running each other. Call it even, 5-yard gain, giving up 5, gaining 5, both sides equal game there right on a big hit.
These safeties right now, I think they need to be ready for a little play action. This is where Kelly Walsh has, in the first half, went over the top and a couple of times.
Steve Hesford's moving his safeties back 3 or 4 extra yards, anticipating the same thing.
Alvar takes the snap, but not going to pass this time, gives to the 1st man through. As he dives forward, picks up a couple of yards out near the 40-yard line, getting up off the bottom of the pile.
Right now, take a look at the clock. I think this is a KW thing they're really looking for right now. They've put together a 4-minute drive. I'm not so sure they had 4 minutes of offense in the 2nd quarter, and right now they just seem to be effective, picking up, aiming for 5 yards at a time and gaining it.
1st and 10 at the Thunderbird 40-yard line, flags fly, and that might back it up 5.
That's a free jump, free 5 yards for KW on that one.
It will be on the East. They'll mark off 5 and a 1st down. The 1st and 10 from the Thunderbird 35-yard line. This is just what the doctor ordered for Kelly Walsh, just kind of grinding it out. Going with that full house backfield, 3 backs just lined up in I formation. single file. Give to the first man through.
Boy, I think they've discovered that all the slash and dash and cuts in the backfield aren't really as magical as they'd hoped. Right now, KW just playing bulldog offense and saying who's the bigger man. Taking advantage, as you talk about in the pregame, Reese, they've got a really decent-sized line. 190, 220, 275, 275, and 335 across that line. They're using every one of those pounds just to push the T-Birds back and gaining 3-4 yards at a time.
Eyes out with the carry, a 3-yard gain, 2nd and 7 from the 3-yard line of the 32-yard line of the Thunderbirds. Last man through, big hole right up the middle, and that is Fetter as he spins his way forward, and he has enough for a first down.
Jamison Briggs coming up and making the really probably a touchdown saving tackle. There was only the 2 safeties back there, and as I told my own son when he used to play high school football, you never want your safeties to be your leading tacklers. That's just not a good sign. You want your linebackers and defensive linemen up there making the game a much faster, shorter yardage game. But in that case, Jamison did a good job of saving that touchdown. Now I think it wouldn't be surprised to see a real quick pass here from him.
10-yard gain for Fetter, 1st and 10 for Kelly Walsh. Long snap count and option to the right, pitch back to Fetter. Fetter trying to get to the outside to the right. He's going to be hit and driven out of bounds inside the 15, right at the 15-yard line.
Wow. We're now down to 5:56 left in the quarter. This is exactly what the doctor ordered up for KW. Trojans doing a very effective job. As I say it again, there's no fancy thing to what they're doing. This is just straight smash mouth football, seeing who's got the bigger Jimmy, who's got the bigger Joe. And in this case, KW right now is winning on this drive.
7-yard gain, 2nd and 3 from the 15-yard line of the T-Birds. Again, single file, 3 backs lined up behind Carter Alvar. Alvar pitches it back again right side to Fetter. Fetter trying to get to the corner. Right side, he can't. He's going to be drugged down from behind by Wyatt Sell now.
Boy, I mean, have you ever seen a high school team in Wyoming in a long time just go this vanilla?
No.
It's just amazing right now. They're coming out in a 3-stack I formation offense. Nothing cute, nothing fancy, nobody wide. And it's just literally the same pitch outside, 3 runs up the middle. Pitch outside, 3rd down and 2 yards, and effective as they're being right now, there's no reason KW needs to get cute here. Just pound another one right up the middle. T-Birds have got to step up and play tougher defense.
3rd and 2 at the T-Bird 14. Single file, 3 backs. Give to the 3rd man through, and he'll be tripped up and fight his way out near a first down. That is Fetter once again unpiling everybody to see exactly where he may have ended up. And going to be short of the first down. 4th and 2.
Down by 18, 5 minutes left in the quarter. There's no reason to even kick a field goal here. Those are just pity points. They're going to go for points. They want to get a touchdown.
Well, you know, the best defense is a good offense that just hangs on to the football,
Absolutely.
and that's what Kelly Walsh is doing right now. 4th and 1 at the East 13. 3-back single file lined up behind Carter Alvar. Ball hash mark right. Alvar under center. And East may have, nope, didn't jump. Now Alvar turns and collides with his own man, and he plunges forward, and he gets enough for the first down. That could have been disaster for Kelly Walsh. They ran into each other, and Carter Alvar made something out of nothing and picked up the first down.
I think actually Alvar forgot which way the play was going. He turned to his right, opened up, pivoted on his backside foot, which moved his body into the 3. The running backs went to the left, the A gap on the left, crashed into him, and he was wise enough just to tuck the ball in tight, dive backwards, and pick up the necessary yards.
14th play of this drive unofficially. Alvar give it on, trying to work his way to the left side, and the East defense rallying. Who did they give that to? Was that Fetter or Izat? It was Izat.
Gotta confess, I wasn't watching. I was busy watching defensive players.
May have picked up a yard. 5 carries, 4 yards for Izat. Those are tough yards, man.
I don't want to keep making a big deal of this, but we're down to 3.5 minutes left in this quarter. East has never seen someone go on a drive like this. A long time to be able to do this to them.
2nd and 9 from their own 11.
There it
now
is.
Wants to pass, some pressure, fires to the end zone, and it is just off the hands of his intended receiver. That was Ben Fetter, and Alvar's pass is incomplete.
3rd and 9. It's going to be an interesting situation here, as much as we don't want to, I shouldn't say we, as much as KW doesn't want to see kicking a field goal right here. If they don't gain another yard, the wise thing says kick the 3, get the 3. You're only down by 15. If they could put another drive or two together like this, and most importantly, control the East offense, that's got to be the big challenge. East is going to definitely go for the quick strikes.
An incomplete pass gave these damn defense a chance to rest. They were getting a little bit worn out, Dan.
Yeah, and that's right now KW is just looking, they're going to come back, I think, and just pound again.
Split backs behind Alvar. Alvar under center. Fakes the give, rolls right, and the ball will be stripped out of his hands. He fumbles it, and the East defensive pressure. They brought everybody, and that is Sadell Johnson that falls on that ball and recovers that fumble. And
it looked like Tyler Stevenson came from his defensive tackle position there. Reese did a great job of getting penetration off his left side, got right past the right guard, got in there, and as the quarterback turned to go into his running formation to try and make that pass, just reached out, batted the ball out of his hands. Boy, you couldn't coach that any better. That was absolute perfection.
They used to have it 1st and 10 at their own 14 after the strip sack fumble and the Thunderbird recovery. Zawada on the fly sweep, gives off to Keyshawn Brown. Brown trying to turn the corner right side. He's going to be bottled up. Maybe a 1 yard, maybe 2 yard gain for Brown. We'll call it 2.
Ethan Haig coming up real fast from his linebacker spot. Ethan, not a huge kid at 5'9", 175, but we've seen how tough he works on the offensive side. That time he did a great job of not only taking on the blocker and keeping his shoulders squares, but then flowing with Keyshawn and doing a nice job of taking him down. Very minimal gain.
How deflating for the Trojans to do all they did to just turn it over. Zawada slings it out near the 1st down markers, and he's got his man. That is Tyree McCord.
This is almost setting up like what happened in the 2nd quarter. Right away, they're working outside. Keyshawn with that last run. Now a pass on a little short 5 yards, 7 yards, and out for the 1st down. They're opening, spreading out Kelly Walsh's defensive backs. Don't be surprised to see Trace Elridge called on again to go down the middle.
And just on the give, straight up the gut. That is Brown spinning and spinning out near the 1st down marker. A 10-yard pickup for Keyshawn Brown. Unofficially at 100 yards for Brown.
Biggest compliment I can give to a high school running back is understanding to get his legs high as he runs and keep pounding the ground. Even when you're running backwards, keep pounding your feet. Keyshawn right now is just a master at that.
Ball at the 38-yard line. Straight up the gut once again, and East is going to give, as Kanan Zawada just kept it himself, and East giving Kelly Walsh a little bit of their own here, just playing a little bit of power football as Kanan Zawada just powers it right up the middle for a 6-yard gain.
Keenan having a nice little read option there, doing the fake to Keyshawn, had his eyes up on the linebackers, watched them flow with Keyshawn, and as soon as he saw them move, he tucked the ball back into his own hip and took off up the middle. A big gain for Keenan.
Out of the shotgun, roll and pass, got a man, that's Brown. Brown at the 45, stumbled, and it is complete to Keyshawn Brown. He may have just kind of caught a foot on the turf, or that looked like it could have gone for a lot more.
I almost don't have to guess. I'm just guessing that I think he actually tried to put on the brakes and reverse a little bit to get back inside, which offensive coach is going to tell him, just put your shoulder pads down and go gain the extra 2 yards. Don't get cute back there. But Keyshawn right now doing everything he can to gain every yard for the T-Birds.
He's picking up the pace a little bit, and Zawada fakes the give to Brown. He's going to be hit for a loss. Back to the 45-yard line. Losing 2. It'll bring up 4th. Call it 3 for the Thunderbirds.
Interesting call right here. T-Birds on their own 45. Still up by 18 points, running into the end of the 3rd quarter, 20, 25 seconds left. almost worth it to just let this run out, have a timeout, pull your team to the sidelines, and let's figure out, do we really want to punt this? We have 4 yards to go. We've been pretty effective. Or do we punt it, put Kelly Walsh deep, and risk them going on maybe another 7-8 minute drive?
And that will be the final play. 3 seconds. Third quarter. 1 possession and a half a possession as 28-10 as we head to the final quarter on the Pepsi scoreboard. East leading Kelly Walsh 28-10. 60-second timeout. You're listening to and watching high school football on 1480 K-Ray.
We're celebrating the grand opening of our new showroom with a sale on new Kias. I'm AJ Miller for Kia of Cheyenne. Right now, come in for savings on a new 2025 Kia Carnival, which will give you more features, safety advancements, comfort, and much more. There's no need to go anywhere else. We've upgraded our facilities to provide you with an even better service for an exceptional car buying experience. Come in, call 775-0123 or go to KiaofCheyenne.com and we'll make it easy.
At Fat Boys Tire and Auto, our business is about more than just selling tires and fixing cars. We believe in faith, family, and community. The Fat Boys family has been serving Wyoming and Nebraska for over 50 years, and 3 generations later, our values have never changed. When you need tires or auto repairs, find the Fat Boys, and we'll treat you like family. Fat Boys Tire and Auto in Cheyenne, Laramie, Scottsbluff, and Wheatland. Get price quotes and schedule service at fatboystires.com.
4th and 3. Keenan Zawana out of the shotgun. Thunderbirds swinging a pass out to the right side. It is complete to Tyree McCord, and I don't think he got enough for the first down. I don't even think he's even close, to be honest with you. So he's going for it on 4th down, and Kelly Walsh will hold, and East turns it over on downs.
I'm not going to say that there's a change of rhythm in this game or anything yet. East still comfortably ahead, but right now KW seems to be controlling the pace of the game. Obviously, as we talked about, a big third quarter long, multi-minute drive. Stuffing East right there, one of their best athletes, and KW attacked that play, and really there was no hope for that to work. That came up a couple yards short of even line of scrimmage.
KW will have it at the East 47
Coming
to
back
start
out.
their second drive of the second half.
Coming back out in their stacked eye.
Alvar to the first man through. He's going to power his way forward, and Kelly Walsh starting to pick him up a little bit in trunks as Izot will pick up nearly 4-5 yards on first down.
This stacked eye is just the magic right now for KW. I don't know if East is just not getting a good read off where the running backs are going because they're not doing any crossing. They're not doing any fakes. The quarterback just turns and hands it to number 1, number 2, or number 3. Nothing cute about it, but it's so effective for the Trojans right now, and they're right back out in that stacked eye again.
3 backs lined up in single file, stacked like Dan said, right behind Carter Alvar under center. Gives to the third in the stack. Fetter fights forward out to the 40-yard line. Be a 3-yard gain for Fetter. And Kelly Walsh again just absolutely shortening this game with this offense right now. It's almost as if we have a running clock.
Oh, sometimes the dreams. But you're absolutely right. The feel of this game right now, it's incredibly fast for not being a fast game. Kelly Walsh huddling, taking their time to get to the line, just content with time running off, but they're controlling the ball and controlling the line of scrimmage.
3rd and 4 from the East 40. Carter Alvar gives to Fetter. Fetter right side is hit at the line of scrimmage and turns his back, and he's going to push his way forward out near the first down marker. He may have enough. Now he'll be just short as Fetter picks up a couple yards. He got hit and then turned around and just tried to push back, and now it'll be 4th and about a half yard for Kelly Walsh at the East 38-yard line.
And what's been working, you can't get away from it. KW stacked eye has been magic for them in this second half. I would be amazed if they don't come right back out in it again. And here they are. Yep, another stacked eye. East is packing it in tight. They're anticipating for something right up the middle.
Alvar under center. And it'll be the quarterback sneak and the tush push. They'll have the first down. The ball will be pushed out near the 36-yard line. 2-yard, 3-yard gain on the quarterback sneak.
Nothing magic about that play. I mean, you've got big
I hate
kids.
calling it the tush push.
Well, and, just to make the side point, I'm pretty sure that all through history, high school football, college, NFL, it's illegal to assist the runner. And I know that comes back to like the 1930s. The Bears stitched handles on the running backs' jerseys, and everybody grabbed a handle, just drug the dude until everybody was tackled.
That sounds like something the old John Dita would do.
There may have been rumors. But right now, the tush push is the thing, and it's effective for the Kelly Walsh.
Kelly Walsh breaks the stack, and we'll go split backs behind Carter Alvar. One back on the wing, and on the cross, Feder, right side. Feder breaks it down. Feder on the loose right side as he got around the end. Feder, it's a foot race to the corner, and Feder. There's a flag on the play.
I'm not sure if it was.
Feder stepped out of bounds near the 8-yard line. Have to see what the flag is if this is coming back. East was stacking it up in the middle, and Kelly Walsh popped it around outside on that little inside give.
And it looked like an East High player got blasted pretty hard in the back. It was a lot of guys in flow in that play there. I don't want to make any assumptions on what happened. But that's sure enough what they're calling, block in the back.
Oh, hey, big gain for Kelly Walsh is wiped out with the penalty, and one of the Thunderbirds is still down on the field. Don't have a number.
I'm pretty sure that was the player that got the block in the back, because whoever it was just went rocketing forward and slammed into his face into the turf. That can be anything too, because a kid tries to stop himself from falling. He puts his foot out in front, can hyperextend a knee, he can slam an elbow into the ground. Turf is designed to be a little bit safer, but turf can still hurt when you hit it hard enough, and he got a pretty good jack in the back there. I don't doubt that had a little bit to do with it.
I'll move the ball back, and one of those point of contact, it'll be 1st and 15. Still with the player down for the Thunderbirds, and hopefully it looks like they're just working a cramp.
Yeah, so he's got his leg elevated, his right leg elevated up in the air. They've picked him up now. Yeah, walking gingerly on his left knee, holding it up is Jamison Briggs. A little bit of leg injury there, but he is moving it, and it's not assisted walk, so that's good for Jamison, but he is walking real tender. Something hurts right now in that lower right leg.
The ball will be marked back to the 42-yard line of the Thunderbirds after the penalty, which it appeared as if Kelly Walsh was going to have it inside the 10. And now we'll get things underway once the injured player is taken off the field.
It just feels like there's going to be a big pass play coming up here in the next 2 or 3 plays.
Split backs behind Carter Alvar. He'll look to pass, steps up in the pocket. He spins away to get away from some East pressure, fires downfield and diving, and just overthrows his intended receiver. The pass was intended for Parker Gilbert. East with a little bit of pressure to flush Carter Alvar out of the pocket, and he's rolling to his right and fires downfield just a little bit strong, and that will stop the clock at 8:54 on the Pepsi scoreboard. 28-10, East with the lead. East has had the ball once in the second half.
I'm sorry, if we could gamble in high school games, I would never bet on that. That was just crazy. But Carter Alvar on that play, doing a nice job of showing his athleticism. He started to roll out to his left, got a little pressure in his face, did a nice spin move to get away, a big kind of a looping spin move, and then also squared his hips up to make a fairly decent downfield pass. Just got a little high and a little far. 2nd and 15.
In motion, across the formation was Quinn Alvar. Pitch it back to Hag. Hag will stop and cut back towards the mesh. And you don't really want to cut back towards the pursuit, which is what Hag did there.
Sometimes that's where the biggest seams are, but we've seen that happen. I actually worked a couple times with the East where the running back can cut back. But in that case, whenever you pitch it deep, you're giving the defense time to read and find the ball, and that's when that cutback generally doesn't work. A cutback has to be a much quicker right at the line kind of move, and there was way too much time for East defenders to flow, putting the KW Trojans at about a 3rd and 15 situation.
From the Thunderbird 41, receivers are split off to either side. One back behind Alvar, 2 on each wing. Alvar fakes the give, going to roll right, look to pass, step up and fire. He's got a man, and it is caught and down near the 1. Did he get in? Waiting for the signal, and maybe to the 1-yard line.
I think
got it to Quinn Alvar, and it'll be at the 1.
As Quinn was tackled, I think his knee came down right at the 1. Then he extended the ball and hit the cone, which, of course, the KW players want the touchdown. They saw the pylon on the front right corner of the end zone get kicked out. They thought that was a touchdown, but Quinn fell extended off of his knees, which means he was down at the 1.
You said there's going to be a big pass play coming up here real soon, and there it was. 3 stacked behind Alvar. 1st and goal from the 1. And diving in, giving it to the 3rd back through. Was that Fetter or Izot?
That was Fetter. And again, coming out of that stacked eye, just doing a great job of everybody man-on-man blocking. Fetter didn't get a lot of wouldn't have gotten a lot of yardage off that, but they only needed 1 yard. So it was effective to get him that yard plus 2 into the end zone. Touchdown Trojans.
Well, line up for the PAT, and this is a different Kelly Walsh team than we saw in the first half. Both teams, it was nearly almost a track meet in that first half. Kell on, Leslie on for the PAT. The snap is good, the hold is down, the kick is up, and that is good. And with 7:30 to play in the game, East leads by 11, 28-17 on the Pepsi scoreboard. You're listening to and watching high school football on 1480 K-Ray. We're back after this 30-second timeout.
Ready to level up? Show your team pride every time you pay with the new lineup of FNBO Visa Debit Fan Cards. Free with any FNBO checking account. Unlike any card you've seen, with unique design, raised detail, and premium finish. Pay in style, everywhere you go. The new collection, only from FNBO. Visit fnbo.com/debit to get yours.
Whsaa Blanchard Stadium. Kelly Walsh with 2 offensive possessions in the second half, and we have 7:30 to play in the game. Coming up with pay dirt, a big pass play, 40-yard pass play from Carter Alvar to Quinn Alvar to put the ball down at the 1, and then Fetter plunging in from the 1-yard line for the score.
We mentioned the Sheridan game earlier, Reese, losing only 37-20 to Sheridan, the number 1 ranked team. They scored 17 against Thunder Basin, but gave up 50. Of course, they poured quite a few on South, scoring 42 points, and then strange enough got blanked by Laramie. So there's a bit of a Jekyll and Hyde going on with this KW team, and I think it's rearing its weird head tonight as well.
Leslie's kick sails out of the end zone, and the Thunderbirds with the touchback will have it 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line, and it is Kelly Walsh. Well, I'm not keeping time of possession here in the second half. I would think Kelly Walsh, they held it for what, almost 10 minutes in the third quarter. They are just dominating time of possession here in the second half.
And you mentioned in the first half, Reese, your most effective tool to keeping East High from scoring is to control the ball. And that was probably part of the big discussion at halftime for the Trojans. We've got to control line of scrimmage and move the ball effectively, and so far the Trojans look like they can do it.
Zawada fakes the give to Brown, who was coming in motion across the formation from left to right, and Zawada will pick up 1 yard. Kelly Walsh defense is bowing up here a little bit.
Ethan Haig at his linebacker position. He's not the biggest kid out there, but he's been effective on both sides of the ball, 5'9", 175 pounds. He also looks like he's their piston because he gets out there and every play that he's in on, he's pumping his fist and jacking everybody's back, trying to get everybody excited to play football. And Ethan's obviously a heck of a talent, but more importantly, he's showing his leadership right now in making a difference on the field.
Loss of yard for the Thunderbirds. One receiver split off to the left, two to the right. Zawada out of the shotgun. Zawada fakes the give to Brown, now rolls to his left, looking to get to corner, and it's a foot race to the yard marker, and may have got to the yard marker, or did he get out of bounds right at the line of scrimmage? And Kelly Walsh this is a different Kelly Walsh team in the second half. Zawada, no gain on that scramble.
KW not coming with anything flashy either, just playing disciplined, smart football, assignment football on both sides of the line of scrimmage. And I'm keeping a special eye on Ethan Haig at linebacker and his other linebackers, and I can see them all pointing, communicating, and that's always a good sign to a coach. Your teams talk to each other and helping each other line up and find the ball right away. Again, pointing each other, directing each other, making sure everybody knows who's responsible for who.
Empty backfield for Zawada. He drops back, looks to pass, fires, and overthrows his intended receiver, Trace Eldridge. That'll stop the clock. 4th and 11 from their own 19. The Thunderbirds will have to punt it away. No, 10-yard penalty. Hold, but isn't that something that Kelly, I was going to say, isn't that something Kelly Walsh can decline and just bring up 4th down?
Which they did.
Is this the first punt for East?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
And Zawada's the punter, so, you don't know for sure. Martinez back deep to receive. He'll stand around his own 35.
Eldridge looks like he's out there.
Eldridge is on to punt. He's dangerous with it in his hands, too. Eldridge at his own 3. A little soccer. He fakes it, and now Eldridge, he faked the punt to the 20, to the 25, to the 30, 35, cuts back to the 40, to the 45, and still on his feet, drugged down at the 48-yard line. Trace Eldridge faked the soccer-style punt and picks up the first down, and that is a Thunderbird first down.
You could guarantee the Thunderbird special teams coach has got big grins right now because Trace played that perfectly. He got that long snap, rolled out in that rugby-style punt, even drew his foot back like he was going to kick it, and then just tucked it and took off, had lead blockers in front of him. And the nice thing about Trace there, too, is he could have got out of bounds maybe about the 40. Instead, he cuts back inside, picks up an extra 7 or 8 yards for the Thunderbirds. What a great play, both offensive calling there as well as just execution on the kid's part.
We saw him go 45 for a touchdown in the first quarter, and he's one of those little scamper backs that is hard to bring down. Zawada out of the shotgun, gave it to Brown, and Brown will bobble it. Now there's a loose ball, a scramble for it. Who came up with it? It was right off the chest of Keyshawn Brown. He couldn't bring it in as he's put it on the carpet, but the Thunderbirds come up with the loose ball.
But you know what? The thing that you have to notice here is now that they're in 2nd and 10. And right now, KW is playing pretty tough defense, and they're going to get up in their face. East has got to find a way to be effective on every single play right now because actually the T-Birds want to burn clock right now. You're only up by 11 points. There's no way you can give up 7 more here or 8 more here, which is probably ideal. What KW do is go for 2 and get that 8 points if they can. So East has got to be effective, efficient, and burn clock.
Zawada out of the shotgun, Brown to his left. As Zawada fakes the give, he's going to keep it himself right up the middle, a big hole. Zawada to the 25, Zawada to the 10, the 5. Zawada is in. The Zawada for the touchdown. And as he goes 47, well, no, that's a 53 for the touchdown.
You know, Swada said, hey, I'm listening to you, but there's no such thing as burning clock with this. Let's just go burn a touchdown, and he sure did. Cut straight up the middle, no fanciness to that. Head up high, found the seams, did a great job of cutting between the defenders, found open field down the left side and into the end zone. East running out here now to kick another extra point.
Zawada, the 53-yard touchdown run, just straight up the gut. The PAT is good as Blake Noose remains perfect on the extra points. 35-17 with 4:47 to play in the game. Thunderbirds leading Kelly Walsh. We'll take a 30-second timeout. You're listening to and watching high school football on 1480 K-Ray.
Capital Lumber is number one in Cheyenne. Are you listening? We're all the lumber store you'll ever need.
For 60 years, family-owned and operated, Capital Lumber Company has been your one-stop to shop for all your lumber, hardware, and accessories. And now it's time to think about those indoor remodel projects, like a new storm door, paint, even a new vanity for that bathroom remodel. And there's so much more. It's been 60 years, and they're still here for you today. Capital Lumber Company at 1222 Dunn Avenue in Cheyenne.
Kanan Zawada, 53 yards for the Thunderbird touchdown. That quick strike T-Bird offense once again. And Zawada with the legs through the air, unofficially 193. Now rushing 119 unofficially, including that 53-yard touchdown run for Kanan Zawada. Blake Noose on to kick it away, has it teed up at the 40.
Interesting situation here because with 4:47 left on the clock till the end of the game, KW can't afford to go on another 5-yard drive or 5-minute drive. They've got to be more effective and move the ball quickly.
Noose, the low liner. It's taken on the bounce. That's Martinez. Martinez to the 20, going to be brought down at the 22-yard line.
4:41 left. KW is probably not ideal situation. They would like to not have to go into a big strike offense right here, but they're going to have to pick and choose. Where do they go for 10, 12, 15 yards at a time? And when are they going to be happy to settle for 5 up the middle? 5 up the middle is effective, but the problem is the clock keeps running, and they're going to run out of time. So the Trojans have to balance and be real smart about how they call plays right now, how they balance clock management as well as gaining yards.
Both teams with all 3 timeouts. 4:41 to play, 35-17. T-Birds with the lead. Split backs behind Carter Alvar, 1st and 10. Alvar again on that inside give to Quinn Alvar. He'll work his way out to the 30. 9-yard gain, 8-yard gain, 32-yard line.
Kind of interested to see that KW is lining up in huddles right now. You're legitimately in your 2-minute offense right now. You've got to be fast and efficient, get to the line of scrimmage. Burning extra seconds is not helping anything. Really, truly, the Trojans have to pick up the pace.
And they're not in any rush. Fetter gets the give, and the Thunderbird defense, the left side of that Thunder defense, just rallies and throws Fetter for a 1-yard loss.
Wyatt Sell now, you come in his house, you can expect to get smacked in the mouth, and that time Wyatt brought a big hit, shut that down right at the line of scrimmage. He was not fooled by anything, did a good job of coming and making a form tackle. Not the traditional form tackle, it's what they now call the Seahawk tackle, kind of head behind and spinning, but it got him down.
Carter Alvar drops straight back to pass. Here comes the Thunderbird pressure. He's wrapped his head. Had a Thunderbird wrapped around his ankles, and he does just get it off before he goes down. The pass will fall incomplete, but the T-Birds bringing everyone on that one.
And there's a little bit of discussion. That was real close to intentional grounding. There was no receiver within 15 yards of that, and he was right behind the line of scrimmage. That was just a save me, don't give a safety, and they're having a meeting right now, all the stripes together, trying to discuss what they're going to call here.
There is no foul for intentional grounding, and I didn't notice if there was a Trojan anywhere near. Did the ball even get back to the line of scrimmage?
And both sideline officials threw yellow flags. So I'm not sure who overruled that, but that really looked like intentional grounding to me.
Third and 10 from the 32. Carter Alvar with split backs behind him. He's going to drop straight back to pass. Alvar plants and fires over the middle, and it is caught at the 49-yard line. Going up high and bringing that one down is Parker Gilbert.
And again, the pace of the game is going to make a difference to the Trojans. East doesn't need to play soft defense, but they've got to open up a little bit and shut down those routes because Alvar is being pretty effective when he decides to drive back and throw the ball. But it looks like right now they're coming back on that pro set wing left. They're going to come hard with the football again.
Not a 20-yard gain, inside give. Fetter has nowhere to go. He was hit and still kept fighting though, Dan, and maybe fell forward for a 1-yard gain.
I'm going to say he didn't fall forward. He collapsed forward.
He was hit hard.
That was a chest-crushing tackle right there. He took a shoulder pad straight. I think, again, Wyatt Sell now coming up from his linebacker position. Absolutely blasted him right in the chest and knocked him straight back, just rolled over for about a half-yard pickup.
1-yard gain, 2nd and 9 from the 48-yard line. Split backs behind Alvar, fakes the give, wants to pass, fires over the middle, and nearly picked off. And just sitting back waiting for that was Eldridge. Eldridge reading Alvar and nearly picked that off. He comes up with that. That's a touchdown.
And that's obviously game over. But, you know, there was just that moment, too. I do believe that was Bo Keller down there. He was actually wide open in that seam again. The safeties playing East High playing a cover 2 defense where their 2 safeties are deep, cut the field in half, and then they're spreading out wide as those passes happen. Kelly Walsh has figured that out, and they're slipping a guy right up that seam up the middle. And the receiver was open for about 6 yards, but unfortunately Alvarez couldn't get that ball off to him.
Alvar drops to pass, rolls out to his right. He's going to tuck it under and cut back up to the middle, lower his shoulder as he crosses the 40, out to the 39. That may be a first down, and there is a flag out on the play, so this one will probably be coming back. Boy, Alvar, he just lowered his shoulder, 6 foot 150.
God,
holding on the offense, so it'll push it back.
Alvar
with 2:36 to play.
He just plays so big, too. I mean, you even look at him, you don't think he's only 150 pounds at 6 foot, but he plays thick, he plays strong. He looks like he's a really well-built kid, carries a big load for only at 150 pounds. When I was in high school, 150 was nothing. But I think maybe we had a guard who played 150, but that's a little two-way football. But he just plays hard. He's a great athlete. I'm really impressed by him.
Ball marked back to the 42 of Kelly Walsh. 3rd and 19. Alvar drops straight back. Here comes the Thunderbird pressure. He'll dump it off into the flat on the left side. It is complete to Ethan Hagg, and Hagg caught it and went immediately to the ground. That'll bring up 4th down.
And a painful 15 for the Trojans.
About a 5-yard gain on the pass play. Unofficially, 210 through the air for Carter Alvar.
And that's kind of been KW's MO all season. They just have this heckle and jive with their heckle and jive. I don't even know who that is. Anyway, moving on.
He's performing in the Super Bowl with Bad Bunny. 4th down and Alvar. Alvar drops straight back. East bringing the heat. Alvar steps up in the pocket. He's going to be grabbed around the ankles and then hit from behind as he is just rolled over from behind. Coming in and making the hit from the back was Tyler Stevenson, and Kelly Walsh will turn it over on downs. East will have it 1st and 10 at the Kelly Walsh 49-yard line.
With all intent and purposes, this game is over right now. There's a minute 33 left. East does not need to do anything flashy. We have seen Coach Goff wisely kneel on it before. KW, they have all 3 timeouts, I believe, left, which could stop the clock, but is that going to gain them anything to get the ball back with, 38 seconds left? Both squads might be content here to just sit down on them, but you never know. High school football, 4A football in Wyoming is always fun.
Zawada leads his guys out. East with receivers split off to either side. Zawada, the inside give, and the ball comes out. Zawada diving. He can't come up with it. Kelly Walsh is there to jump on the loose ball.
Bo
Keller. Coming up with it is Bo Keller as East turns it over and gives it right back to Kelly Walsh. After East got it back, and Kelly Walsh turned it over on downs. One play later, Kelly Walsh will have it 1st and 10 at the Thunderbird 46.
I can see the logic behind that play call, because if East just takes a knee, Kelly Walsh starts burning timeout, and they're going to turn the ball over. And as much as you hate to say this, a lot of voting in high school football is all about how many points do you beat somebody else by.
Tush push right up the middle, and Alvar, he had a little seam as he busted through to the 40. Picks up nearly 6 yards on the quarterback sneak.
Alvar is struggling to get up. I think that was the downside of the famous tush push. As he went up through the line, he had impact on a tackle, and then suddenly got blasted by his running backs and accelerated forward faster than defensive back and took a really big hit. But he's back up, and he's back on the sidelines. Timeout, Kelly Walsh.
East has only had 3 offensive possessions in the second half. One of them, they scored a touchdown on the one.
I believe that if you told me they had 3 possessions in the third quarter, not in the second half. That's crazy. Kudos to KW.
They take their timeout, both teams over on the side. This has been a very physical game. And, Dan, I kind of thought that was going to be the case when I looked at the stats and just looked at the numbers. And you look at the size of these guys along the offensive and defensive fronts for both teams. Both big, both physical.
And KW,
East just has more guys.
Yeah, and KW is designed to be physical. I mean, they line up in this very tight offensive formation. All 11 guys right on the tackle box. Heavy backfield, heavy line. They're designed to play physical football. And I'm going to give Coach Goff a really big compliment and say, for as long as I've watched him coach and every team he's put, the reason East High is in the top 2, 3, 4 in the state every single year is because East High plays tough. They bring the hitters and they gang pile and they block with just a ferocity that is unmatched. This has been one of those games that just it's not a contact sport tonight, it's a collision sport.
Hag at a lone setback behind Alvar. Alvar takes the snap. He's going to drop straight to pass. Here comes the Thunderbird pressure. Alvar will step up, and down he goes as he's dropped back at the 45-yard line. A loss of 5. Again, East just bringing the heat up the middle as Alvar goes down on the sack.
There's a lot of different ways you measure how a sack happens, depending on whether it's a coverage sack, a rush sack, a broken play sack, different things. In that case, everything clicked for the T-Birds. Not only did they bring extra guys and put a lot of pressure in the backfield, but the defensive backs did a great job of dropping back and sticking right to the receivers' chests.
Kelly Walsh will just let the clock tick. Alvar drops back to pass. Again, here comes the Thunderbird pressure as the pocket just collapses, and Alvar will go down, and down he goes once again. The Thunderbirds with the sack, and that'll bring up 4th down, and another 3-yard loss for Alvar on the sack.
And with under 30 seconds left, 21 seconds left, KW probably isn't even going to line up for a play here. Just let the clock run out. There's enough play clock left that there won't be any problem with that. They might, well, I don't think they're going to sneak another play. They're coming to line of scrimmage, but why risk anything with 10 seconds less, 5 seconds left?
And Alvar is under center. You hear the East crowd counting it down. They'll take the snap. Alvar back to pass, fires over the middle, and it is tipped and knocked away. And that will do it as that pass falls incomplete. And the T-Birds improve to 5-1 on the season with a 35-17 win over Casper Kelly Walsh. And Dan, an incredible game, Kelly Walsh team here. You looked at the numbers coming in, the records coming in, and the way this game started, you thought it was just going to be a Thunderbird runaway, and Kelly Walsh settled in and started playing some defense. A very game Kelly Walsh team.
And it's frustrating for Coach Roden and the rest of his staff over there on the green and white sidelines, because you know your team is just a little bit away from where they want to be. And they're playing really tough football, bringing on both sides of the ball. But, you know, you got to give credit to the T-Birds. They're number 2 ranked in the state for a reason, and they do a lot of bend, but they don't do a lot of break. and they're not afraid to put the ball down the field, either out of the backfield or throwing it deep, and they were effective at it today, and that was the big difference makers. East just made the plays.
We'll take a 2-minute timeout, and we'll kind of get some stats and wait for Chad Goff. He always makes his way up to have a visit with him. We really do appreciate that. But we'll make that a 3-minute timeout. A 3-minute timeout. The final, the Thunderbirds 35, the Trojans 17. You've been listening to and watching high school football on 1480 K-Ray.
There are a lot of bad words in our vocabulary, including this 6-letter word, winter. Larry Prawley from the Morning Pro Shop letting you know Old Man Winter is headed our way. So with that being said, it's time to get your vehicles ready for the bitter cold and snowy conditions by stopping into Cheyenne Auto Repair and Service for your service work and minor repairs, from adding antifreeze to heating your car and everything in between. John and his excellent crew will help keep you motoring in any and all seasons. Plus, John is a TechNet professional, certifying he is one of the best in the country when it comes to taking care of your vehicle, big or small. Cheyenne Auto Repair and Service, 604 West Lincoln Way, open Monday through Friday. Call and set up an appointment at 632-0498. Cheyenne Auto Repair and Service, serving our area for well over 30 years. I always get a kick when I see ads for a huge vault of silver they found, or they get their gold from a certain company. Hi, this is Larry Prawley for the Coin Shop in downtown Cheyenne. Family owned and operated since 1982. You can buy and sell your gold or silver, along with other precious metals, including palladium and platinum, at the Coin Shop each Tuesday through Friday. You'll always get top dollar for your gold or silver, as David Brockman has his eye on the precious metals market each day. So stop on by for a fair and honest appraisal of your precious metals, or give David a call and set up a time to stop by. You'll always find coin collections, collectible coins, proof and mini sets, and more today. So why wait for the others? Shop the Coin Shop in historic downtown Cheyenne at 510 West 16th Street, open Tuesday through Friday from 9 a.m. until 5 p.m. Or give them a call at 778-7196.
The players return to the field. Up to bat are the Warriors. First up, number 7. There's the pitch. It's a hit, good for a single. Next, number 18. He swings, line drive to center field. 15 steps up. Another hit. Bases loaded now as number 40 approaches the plate. It's headed for the fence. Grand slam. The Warriors win the game. Make it home safe. Buckle up. Every passenger, every trip, every time.
Don't fumble with your family dinner tonight. Score extra points at Two Doors Down. Two Doors Down is wired for football season, and with a menu that won't penalize your pocketbook. Two Doors Down menu selections are perfect for the active family, from gourmet burgers and bottomless fries to soups and salads to the all-new platters, and of course your favorite beverages. Tackle your family's cravings tonight at Two Doors Down, 118 East 17th Street. For full menu and specials, go to twodoorsdown.net. Two Doors Down, flippin' great burgers since 2009.
Welcome back to Oakey Blanchard Stadium. The final, Cheyenne East improving to 5-1 with a 35-17 win over Casper. Kelly Walsh. An interesting second half, Dan. The first half took a while, and because both teams were just kind of going up and down, throwing the ball. The second half, 4 possessions each, and Kelly Walsh with the nearly a 15-16 play drive that ended in nothing when East got the strip sack. And you thought that might just break Kelly Walsh's back, but then they come back with a big pass play and get it in the end zone and get a touchdown in the second half. East answers right back though with Kanan Zawada, a 53-yard touchdown run, and this is a big play team.
Absolutely. And, when you look at how East is designed, they're not designed to be a gentle team. They come down fast. They're quick strike, big play. They've got enough athletes spread around the field. They've got enough stars in every situation, whether it's offensive or defensive side. But I realize we're carrying this game for the Thunderbirds, but you got to give a little credit to the well, this is interesting. We got the Kelly Walsh Band out here going to do their national performance for us. This will be interesting to see. But anyway, Kelly Walsh, big credit to them. They played really good football today, and they made the plays when they had to, and especially in that second half. It just felt like it was a whole different football game in the second half as KW controlled the pace. They controlled the clock. Probably they're going to look back and kick themselves and say if we had only been able to do that in the first half, we could have got things a little bit more under control a little bit earlier. And they would have had maybe a little bit more success for that second half or the first half.
Well, we do have some of the Thunderbirds that are up here visiting with us, and one of the big fellas up front, Juan Roca, 6 foot, 230-pound senior, and Juan, thanks for joining us. Congratulations on a win, and that game looked like it was just two completely different games from the first half to the second half, and the first half. Up and down. Second half, you only had a couple of offensive possessions, but you finally hit pay dirt with a big run from your quarterback, Kanan Zawada. Just your thoughts on this game?
It was a good game. Everybody's got to have trust in each other. Like me and just whoever's next to me, it's got to be like, hey, we got this. Like, just got to have trust, and everything will come out okay.
Well, you talk about lines. I mean, Kelly Walsh has some big fellas up there. I mean, they were kind of loading it up in the second half. What was the difference between the halves?
They kind of changed up their defense a little, but they were pretty tough up front. But you just got to keep working, don't quit.
Now, what's it like being the offensive lineman, knowing you're springing a big hole? You see Keyshawn Brown or Eldridge or Caden here. All you see is their back running into the end zone. As an offensive lineman, that's got to be a great feeling.
It is. It's just like all our work is paid off. Sure, we may not get a ton of credit, but seeing them get all the praise is credit enough.
Yeah, that's awesome. And now you have Central coming up, so, you got a big one coming up next week.
Yeah, we just got to stay 1-0. That's our goal.
All right, well, thanks for joining us, and we do have quarterback Kanan Zawada here with us as well. I believe threw for 206 yards and the big touchdown there in the second half, and standing on the sideline watching Kelly Walsh run a 16-play drive, and something that they. Old coach is saying the best offense is a good best defense is a good offense, and that's what KW did to you to start that second half.
Yeah, it was kind of weird because I guess that happened to us against Sheridan a little bit, but they just waste an entire quarter, and it's just hard to come fire off that drive. But our defense, they forced a turnover, and it just made our offense roll after that.
Yeah, and then you busted it open, on the give, and it just parted. It just opened up, and all you could see was that baby blue blue end zone in front of you, right?
Yeah, it was the offensive line did such an amazing job. Once I saw a hole, and they do that in practice all the time too. So once I saw the hole, I'm like, oh, this can be a touchdown, because those guys up there, those 5 in the front, they work so hard in practice, and they just want to know every day.
It's just going to be a touchdown. What are you saying to yourself? Just don't trip, right?
Yeah, I was like, don't trip, don't try to get hawked down or tackled from behind, and just hold on to that ball and don't fumble.
Yeah, every game's a little bit different, and this one was just the first half versus the second half, completely different.
Yeah, our defense did really good. Only forced them 1 to 2 yards, and then they forced them to punt, and then our defense still did good. It's just that we just came out a little slow, but then they figured it out, and we did really good after that.
Yeah, you did. Now you've got Central coming up next week. I know you got to enjoy this one for a little bit, maybe 24 hours, and then turn your attention to the Indians.
Yeah, we just got to be 1-0. That's our motto, just 1-0, and that's all we need to worry about, just being 1-0.
All right, okay. Now, thanks for joining us. Outstanding job today. Congratulations on a good win, running your record to 5-1. And we do have head coach Chad Goff here with us as well. And Coach, kind of a track meet in the first half. That second half, possessions were at a premium. Just what differences between the halves?
Yeah, that's the kind of stuff we talked about, worked on in practice, and we told the kids, that's the game plan. They
they want the ball out of our hands, and they did a really good job in that second half. And I know Kanan talked about a little bit for that 8-minute drive to end in a turnover. That was huge for us, and we didn't capitalize on it, no doubt about it. We didn't went for it on fourth, probably should not have done that, but kids were feeling it, and we wanted to keep our offense on the field, and so we took a shot. It didn't work out, and then defense came back on and did good things. And so, you know, it's a team game, and so all three phases have to play for you to be successful, and I thought they all did their part tonight.
Well, Kelly Walsh was still within reach, and then the fake punt, and Eldred just, you know, a tough guy to bring down when he gets out there. He's like a little water bug out there, just as getting through traffic. That's kind of a gutsy call at that point, Coach.
On his part, it's a gutsy call. I can tell you that. You know, we talked at halftime. I walked by him when he was getting stretched at halftime. I said, "You got to get us one back." You know, he had that great catch. You know, and it was a great play by that defender. You know, and he popped that ball out of his hand there at the end of the first half. And I said, just go get it back. Everything will be all right. Just go get it back. And I think that was probably weighing on him. And he was like, "All right, I'm gonna go get this back."
So you're telling me he did that on his own?
I'm not telling you anything. I'm just saying that was a great play.
Well, he faked the rugby kick and then just took off. That was outstanding.
He's a good kid, hard-working kid.
Yeah, and it's, you know, it just goes to show that you know, football can be a strange game. The way that first half went compared to the second half.
Yeah, no doubt, and you kind of know you kind of know what's going to happen a little bit, and they had to open it up a little bit, and they caught us a couple times, and that's something we'll obviously have to get better about. And, you know, it's probably a team we're going to probably end up seeing here again, you know. And so that's something that that offense is not easy to prepare for. You know, that's something you do all day, every day there. And that's something you try to throw in with your scout team during practice. And all it is you just pounding and pounding and pounding. And that gets old for 4 days, you know. And so it was good to see the kids. They came out and executed defensively pretty well. Gave up a couple big plays. But other than that, I thought they executed pretty well. Gang tackle, did all that kind of stuff.
And, you know, with Central coming up the next game, this is one of those ones, you know, some people kind of can call it maybe a trap game, but you guys were focused.
Yeah, are you talking about this game?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what we talked about, you know, good to great. How do we get from good to great? And some of that, we talked today at our meeting today, and I said, what a great opportunity to see if you lifted hard enough, because that's what this type of game is about. You know, this is just a strength and conditioning type game, and all these kids put a lot of time in that weight room in the off season, and you could see that a little bit out here tonight.
Yeah, Dan and I were talking. I mean, you just look at the numbers on both the fronts and the size. You just knew it was going to be a Donnybrook at some point, and it's just a tough physical game.
It is, yeah. Use your incline. Use your incline and use your squat. And they did, so it was good.
Well, Indians coming up next weekend.
Yep.
You know, enjoy this one. But I think a lot of people have been looking forward to that one next week.
Yeah, no doubt. Awesome for this town, to be honest with you, and for all these kids, and excited, you know. But like Kanan said, you know, our goal is to be 1-0, and that's what we'll focus on this week.
All right, Coach, thanks for taking some time visiting with us. We really do appreciate it. Congratulations on a nice win, 5-1 on the season. So going 1-0 next week, and we'll wrap things up. So they've gone 1-0 5 times. Let's just put it that way. But again, an outstanding game, and I love talking to those kids. It's so good to come up here and, you know, all you see is the number. You can't see them through the face mask. To see their faces.
They're proud of who they are. They're proud to be T-Birds, and they play like it. And it's a hell of a program. Coach Goff does a great job. And Reese, East Central next week. It is going to be a heck of a game. Number 2, number 4. Let's get it on. Gloves off. Everybody take their big hits, and let's go play some serious football. Excited for next Friday night.
Last year it came down to that controversial play on the goal line. That was the big difference. And, you know, that's all the cliches apply. Throw the records out in a game like that, and you're going to have two physical teams that are going to get after each other next week over at Central High School, and we are certainly looking forward to bringing that to you here on 1480 K-Ray. The final here, 35-17, T-Birds with the win over the Kelly Walsh Trojans. I want to thank Doug Arnold back at our studios at 1480 K-Ray. Great job, Doug. Thank you very much. Really do appreciate it. Larry Proetti, our on-site producer and engineer here as well. The Pro Shop doing a great job. And my tag team partner, the mayor, Dan Morris. I'm Reese Monaco. You've been listening to and watching high school football on 1480 K-Ray. Doug, thank you, man.